Delvers, assemble! Oh, you guys are already here. Well, hello, everybody. Welcome to today's episode of Dungeon Delving. I say today's episode like we do this every day. Don't mind me. You know what?
Even it's more than once a quarter now. The sets have been coming out like crazy.
Oh, my word. I'm so glad we haven't started delving into... we haven't started going into the D&D stuff yet. We want to. We really should. We really should. But it sucks getting guests for that because Jasper's busy as heck. And Sean. Love him. Congrats, he got engaged. Good job, Sean.
Excellent.
Love y'all. But I've got some super guests with me today. Pun intended. And that is because... in this corner, the reigning Waffle House champion of magic, it's Dork4Short!
Damn, I didn't have to do my intro either, but I'll do it anyway. It's what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, the High Flyer, the Wheeler and Dealer, the Undeniable Kaporka. And in case you somehow managed to forget with that wonderful introduction, the best in the world, it's your friendly neighborhood Dork4Short, and I'm here with a wonderful roster of people to discuss some wonderful, marvelous cards. Thank you so much for having me, and I look forward to yapping.
And this is the first time for us here for Dungeon Delving. We've got a returning guest, slinking from the shadows, jumping from plane to plane. She is the vigilante of the underbelly. It's Emmara, goddess of Blunder.
Is that me? Hey everybody, what's happening? I am Emmara, goddess of Blunder. I make Magic the Gathering content on the internet. I am a cosplayer. I am a puppeteer. I am one of your former ambassadors from Dustborn, Aether Drift, Final Fantasy, Innistrad Remastered, and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've been playing Magic the Gathering for 32 years now. I am the old crone of the woods. I like to shout at the internet about Magic the Gathering, and I am very excited to talk about this Marvel.
And the queen of playing chase.
I am the queen of playing chase. Playing chase
Gotta
is
put
the
that in there.
best. It's the bestest. God, I love playing chase so much. Now you've thrown me completely off.
Sorry, I ruined
I got too excited now about playing chase, but I am very excited about this Marvel set as well. I have good things to say, I have bad things to say, but most of my bad things are just me being a super fangirl and being like we are in our fandom. So, yeah, thank you very much for having me back, and yeah, let's do this.
And joining me, as always, is one of my two co-hosts, because Ryan, as you can see from this roster, is not here with us today, but we've got the planer, projecteer, engine seer, geologist himself. It's Geek.
Hey everybody.
I am your host. I'm Will, also known as Scruffy Nerf Herd. I guess I play Ilix Fullborn, a planeswalker from the plane of Asgul, who was granted his powers by the Ashen Lord, the man inside the volcano. It's been unhinged playing this character. I went from playing Calden, who was a goody-goody two-shoes. He died mercilessly on Vryn. To the absolute most unhinged, insane character I've ever played. If you when it finally comes out, if you watch episode, I want to say it's like 65, when I get the Ashen Conqueror form, I just stop holding back. I turn into what I think is a villain of a good guy. But today, the important thing is we're here to talk about our top 5 favorite cards from Magic the Gathering Universes Beyond Marvel superheroes. So this is actually the channel's first time talking about Marvel because we skipped Spider-Man. We're going to be 100% transparent. Ryan, Geek, and I, before we started bringing in guests, we weren't really fans of Spider-Man, and at least the set, it was tough. We're going to do our best to avoid doing that this year. If there is no interest in a particular set, we will reach out for multiple guests. Ryan is a different story here. There was just some scheduling conflicts. That's why he's not here. But I think
We'll see you next time.
Oh yeah, but bringing in Emmara and Dork friends of our friends, Dork's first time on the channel and Emmara's returning time on this channel. Last time we talked with her was on EOE. And actually, something I just want to. Oh yeah, something I do want to bring up though with what Emmara said. We've talked about the good, the bad, and the ugly. Here at Dungeon Delving, this is our opinion. Flat out, if somebody in the group is thinking something's bad, I don't want them to ever hold back. Honestly, in the comments, same thing. If there's something you're like, hey, this set I'm not a big fan of for X, Y, and Z reason, this is here. It's our own opinions. Wizards isn't listening to me. They steal our shit though. I will not hold back. We introduced a planeswalker named Delian back in 2022. And with Delian Delian Fells, that drove me crazy. The fact that our character's name is Delian Desh, so it is even a 4-letter last name.
I like to think that they found my Xbox Live name and they were like, "Oh yeah, we're gonna make a character from Ravnica." I was like, "You bastards!"
But what we're gonna do first is we're gonna talk about some of the mechanics of the set. We'll go into a couple of cycles. We are actually gonna talk about one card from Spider-Man because one of the cards in Spider-Man, the second card's now in the superhero set. Shocking and surprising to no one. But yeah, that's what we've got going on today. So we're gonna go ahead and start with mechanics. But before we get there, Dork, what is the idea of Marvel Universes Beyond, like specifically superheroes, that was a draw to you, if at all?
So initially, because I always figured they were going to be doing more than one of things, right? They signed that multi-year deal, and we only got Spider-Man that first time around. I say only, not because I'm invalidating the character. I mean, if you make a Mount Rushmore of comic book superheroes right now, Spider-Man is going to be on it. It's going to be the big three of DC, and then it's going to be Spider-Man. Like, that's just how it is. You could probably show a picture of Jesus Christ next to Spider-Man to a 4-year-old child, and that kid will always point out his friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. That's just the world we live in. So at the time, I knew we would be getting a Marvel superhero set of one way or another. To what capacity, it was unclear, especially because you always have to consider in your back pocket, there's gonna be more of them. Now we know there's more with the Infinity Stones, there's gonna be 4 more sets on the way. So to me, I was going to figure they'd be going more in the direction of simply the Avengers, right? It would just be like your modern MCU incarnations with, the main 5, and, cutting back, or main 6, cutting back on, the original roster a little bit, or maybe they went a completely different way, right? Where they went more into a comic book telling. What really intrigued me when I actually began to see the set itself is there are enough draws from the source material that it doesn't feel like this is a Marvel set that is set in any specific point in time, which I like. It's just a showcase of the Marvel universe, and I think that was something that Spider-Man, because it was a smaller set, was lacking to a certain extent, where it just bounced around so much of just one character's story, when in actuality what you want is a showcase of this being a living, breathing world of these characters where things are happening constantly. I will say that on execution, I think they delivered pretty all right, especially knowing that we're going to be getting more characters on the way. But I'd be lying if I said that my mutant heart wasn't a miss to see a few of my favorite gifted students be a bit lacking in some ways, more than others. I know we got some of the roster on there, but I was hoping to either see a bit newer faces or a bit more uncanny faces, to say the least, rather than ones that we've gotten. But I digress. I think as a whole, this set is definitely what really drew me in, to answer your question, to this set was the potential. And I think that, you can only go up from here given Spider-Man and its unfortunate launch. And I think they executed that. I think they did land pretty well. But I think, there's a lot more time and a lot more sets to go before I can comfortably say, I'm roped back in to the Marvel zeitgeist. So I'm not quite at the Excelsior level, but, I'm getting there. We're getting somewhere.
That's fair. Because my question for Emmara differs slightly, because I know that Emmara and I are both massive comic book fans. her more so than I. I've been very lackluster. The last comic book I bought, if this dates me at all, Emmara, I bought Captain Hydra Volume 1.
I think I probably have you beat.
Ordered.
Yeah, it's been a while. It's a great span of comics. That whole series of bringing Steve back as a Hydra agent, which great. I would have loved to have seen a mention of that in this set, but you know,
Secret Empire.
it's a crazy set. Him killing Black Widow is nuts. Spoiler warning.
Didn't know about that.
You can't do
Thanks.
that.
Yeah, spoiler warning. He goes for Spider-Man, and Black Widow pushes him out of the way. Crack, and it's just like, oh, oops.
I love
Yeah.
comic books. They're the bestest.
Yeah, what
are.
got you into comics when you were younger? Is my question aimed towards you.
So, I've always been into artwork. So I
You're covered
can
in it.
kind of draw. Like my dad is artistic. My brother is as well. And, like we've always been into artwork and stuff. And my dad started reading comic books, and he started out with Daredevil and Iron Man. And like I saw the comic books around the house, and I was like, oh, cool! It had artwork. I would sit there and I would use those comic books to sit there and mimic them, I guess, and try to learn how to draw. Basically, it helped me with human forms and stuff, and eventually I ended up having my own allowance and whatnot, and I saw this X-Men comic book, Jim Lee artwork. It was magnificent. I was like, what is this? I was like, I must have this, and that was my first comic book that I bought, and then it just spiraled out of there to the point where that's all I wanted to do was read comic books, buy comic books. If there was any kind of superhero on anything, I was like, I must have this thing. And I always made it happen. Oh my god, I have a Secret Wars coloring book that I saved up. I hid it behind a whole bunch of other books, and I would go and check on it every once in a while to make sure it was still there. I just hid it behind things I knew nobody else was actually buying. And then eventually one day I skipped school. I told my mom I was going to school. I started walking. She let me go by myself. I snuck to the bookstore and went and bought my coloring book. Showed up to school like an hour late because I had to walk all the way across the base to get to the bookstore. My mom was so pissed off, but I had that Secret Wars coloring book with Kang and Doctor Doom. God, still have it. I love it. Comic books.
Geek, what does the Marvel set mean to you? Because I know for you have kids. You are a father. So I imagine Marvel has a little bit of a different meaning for you.
For me personally, not much. I never
Sure.
did comics that much when I was a kid. I've read the stories on, kept up with some things and the characters over time. I watched the movies. My kids have seen a few of the movies, so they like some of the characters, but they're more on, like World of Warcraft or D&D now. That's more their focus than comic characters. Yeah, and the last comic I think I actually bought was like from the 90s. It was DC versus Marvel. It was a while ago.
Good run of comics as well. I would love I would love for them to redo that run.
Yeah. So I mean, them saying, "Hey, we're gonna do a Marvel set," I'm like, cool, fine, whatever. So I wasn't that excited. I will fully admit that.
As far as I'm concerned, the biggest thing for me was, one, are they going to do movies as well as comics? Or two, are they just doing comics? When they told me they were just doing comics, that is actually when the fear of how this set would come out set in for me. Because I realistically looked at it and I went, oh no, they can screw this up really, really bad. Because one of the biggest things for me is when a Marvel Secret Lair came out and they put out the stretch of cards, the first thing people were doing was bombarding me, because the next question I will ask the three of you is, who's your favorite Marvel character if you have one? Mine is Captain America. I love Cap for everything he stands for, which is he stands up against the bullies. speaks out and strikes out against those who cannot. He speaks up for those who cannot protect themselves, and it was actually a big inspiration behind who Calden was as a character. That's why he seemed so Captain America-like, where Calden really seemed like a hero. It's because, quite frankly, I pulled from a bunch of how Steve and the rest of the Captain Americas act. He was like, yeah, sure, Bucky's a bit ruthless, but he's still Cap through and through when he takes over that mantle. Surprisingly, we didn't get Buck's version of Cap.
Don't start. Pisses
Come
me
on,
off.
I need the double-barreled shotgun called Truth and Justice.
Makes me so bad.
Great outfit also. Like,
Oh,
God, I
there's a
would've
double
loved
barrel shotgun. No wonder we didn't get it.
yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah. But Bucky is a ruthless Cap. He's just like,
Back in the day, I cosplayed that at Fan Expo in Chicago, and then I didn't have guns, and then I was like, wait a second, you can buy pellet guns here, so I went and bought some pellet guns so I could go into the con with my guns. I was like, awesome. And I have a metal shield.
yeah. The only thing Magic's done is made me realize that all of Captain America's enemies would have been dealt with a lot quicker if he just used the sword, specifically Excalibur.
Isn't that the truth?
Well, the big thing for me was they, like, as soon as the secret lair got announced, people were down my throat like, Cap's in the secret lair, Cap's in the secret lair. He's Jeskai. And I'm like, no, he's not, but that's okay.
I remember this reaction because I was part of this conversation.
Yeah, I will, screw dying on it. I'll kill on the hill that Cap's not Jeskai. He just isn't.
Agreed.
But I digress. I go into that full-heartedly during the Commander episode that will hopefully come out soon. We filmed it so long ago. But
It was a fun episode.
yes, but for me, that was one of the things that I was like really afraid of for this set. Was I was like, are they going to do these characters justice? I know they can't do everything. I'm fully aware of that. I'm like, as long as you can either hit the big notes across a couple of cards, or you at least get the core of it, I'll accept it. And because, like, I know that we're going to get more iterations. Tony Stark went from having 0 cards in Magic to, over these past 2 years, 8.
15.
Yeah, it's an insane number. But, yeah.
It's just a couple.
Dork, who's your favorite Marvel character if you have one?
Oh my god, you have not seen what I've been yapping about for the past 3 months, baby. It's club time. It's the thing. It's got to be the thing. I got a figure over there. I got like cross poster of the character. I mean, like I got one of when he turns into the thing, one of him getting married, and if there was one of him sitting on the John, I'd probably have that one too. He's the greatest written Jewish protagonist we have ever gotten, and it is not even close. There is an argument to make about Magneto, but Magneto is not strictly a protagonist that time. He's just one of the best Jewish characters ever written. But the Thing, through and through, from Jack Kirby's design, his son even discussed after his father had passed how out of the 4 Fantastic Four members, Jack always felt like the Thing was like a self-insert to him. The Thing, of course, being inspired by Jewish folklore of like the Golem, you know, and also humanizing that character. A Golem is a servient being, right? Ben Grimm is not servient, except to one thing, and that's his own faith. There are issues where he talks and he quotes lines and excerpts where he talks about how he's been around literal gods like Thor and Loki, and how he's been to space, and how he's a walking rock man, and it has never deterred his faith. Not only in, you know, what he believes in, but in his family. He really is heavy about that characteristic, which is again very important to, you know, my own faith and such. I love in the more modern incarnations where his wife is his strength. There's a point during the Immortal Hulk run where he's fighting the Immortal Hulk, and at the time, his power is actually on a timer. He's only got a certain amount of time where it's clobbering time, you know, because he wants to have like a normal life when he's not the Thing, right? And so when he goes to deliver this finishing blow, knowing that the Hulk is stronger than him and madder than him and basically better than him in a lot of different ways, the main focus is the Hulk strength comes from his anger, but the Thing's strength, it does a close-up to his wedding band, and he knows that he's fighting for more than just himself in this moment. He's fighting for not only those around him, but also so he can go back home to his wife at the end of the day. And let me tell you, he knocks the Hulk the fuck out in that one. It's screen. He literally shatters every single rock in his arm and leaves it all like gooey and squishy, and then he collapses. But yeah, no, it's always going to be a thing. It always has been a thing. Here's the thing. He's comical when he needs to be. He, in my opinion, is the heart of the event really at the time of the Avengers, but the Fantastic Four. It's a thing. It really is. They've only done him right when it comes to most iterations of the comics, from the kid from Yancey Street to big weird old rock messiah in cosmic levels with Franklin. But it's the thing. That's simple as that. There will never be a character quite like him again, and I don't think there needs to be. I think he's really perfect to showcase all of what I would want to see in a character that I'm like, he's just like me. So
I remember the illustration for the thing that always stood out to me was the one where he's got like a rock beard. He's just got like it's just hanging from there, and I'm just
The
like,
one on rock
oh,
beard.
it's not like a rock
That would be
beard.
your
It's just
favorite.
like basically like the fleshy like melty stuff that happened after he clocks Hulk. Like that's just coming from his face because he's older. He's like sitting there with a cane, and I'm like, what do you need a cane for? You're literally rock hard.
he literally that was when he was like guiding the next I think that might be on it's like way down.
Oh yeah.
The thing like outlives everyone, and it's actually through the perspective of Franklin Richards, who's like visiting old man Thing, and it's so bittersweet because when everyone goes and leaves him, the Thing is just like silently like he's passed away. He's like sitting on like this slab, and fucking Franklin comes over as like a grown man with a beard of his own. He kisses him on the forehead, and he's like, "Goodbye, Uncle Ben." And I'm like, fuck, man, like, why are you gonna kill Pope, Uncle Ben? This sucks. Like, which little side tangent is a wonderful thing that I love that both Franklin Richards and Peter Parker have in common, which is they both bond greatly through their uncles, which is very very sweet, and I've always loved that little detail. So it's a thing. It's always a thing. Can't be nothing beats rock. Nothing beats rock.
Except the
I mean,
paper
I
he's
have to agree
printed
with
on.
this.
Is
I
he
have to
good?
agree with the rock sentiment here.
You're a geologist. Shut up.
Nothing
Of
beats
course,
rock.
I am a geologist.
Amara, what about you?
My favorite character. So my first tattoo, Marvel tattoo, was Black Panther. I love Black Panther. I'm a crazy cat lady. I can't help it. Like the first time that I ever saw Black Panther in a comic book, he just floors the Avengers, and I was just like, yep. I was like, this guy. He knows he's the smartest man in the room most of the time, but what makes him so dangerous, like he doesn't have the same morals, I guess, as the rest of the smartest guys in the room with the Illuminati. Like Black Panther will press the button if he needs to, like, whereas they will not go as far as he will. Like he rules a whole entire nation. He knows what needs to be done, and I respect that, I guess, in a lot of ways, because like sometimes that's what needs to be done, and like I managed to get a Black Panther movie, and like there's been good times for me. I just played the Wakanda Forever deck, like 4 games. That thing is horrifying. It's just Selesnya Voltron equipment. I don't know. But yeah, Black Panther. I have him on my leg, sitting there playing with a ball of yarn. That makes me happy.
I always question if like some of the actors that they bring in to portray certain roles are going to be good for them. And like Robert Downey Jr. did great for Tony. I think Chris Evans did great for Captain America. I was like, who the hell is Chadwick Boseman? When they first announced him for Black Panther, then I saw the movie and I went, "Long live Chadwick Boseman!" And unfortunately, R.I.P. Chadwick Boseman. And yeah, like it's crazy.
He's great.
Yeah,
It's a great
he's
movie.
I was so sad too, because like I don't know, the movie meant so much to so many people. Like there's not a lot of representation in a lot of fandoms and things like that. So like I mean I belong to comic books and Warhammer, and things have gotten better. Everything is getting better. And like Black Panther is one of those characters where like he's there's not a lot of diversity, I guess. And like, I'm so glad that Marvel took a chance and that it worked, and that like it brought in a whole entire new generation of fans, and from that we'll get even more representation and more diversity. And like, I'm Puerto Rican and trans, and like seeing yourself in characters, and it it's silly, but it makes you feel like you belong. So like, I respect that. But words.
Oh yeah. Geek, what about you?
Mine isn't in the set. Mine's Magneto. Because Magneto's
He'll
right.
be around. He'll be there.
Right. He is always right, and I have to disagree with Dork. He always is a protagonist, in my view. Always.
The Ultimates run says otherwise, but you got me on 98% of the time.
If he's not a protagonist, he's at least right. Other than him, I think I like Iron Man. I always like the Artificer.
Sure.
Thanos was right.
No, disagree.
Yeah.
Hilariously
No,
enough,
agree.
Thanos actually is. He just didn't go about it the right way.
Yeah.
The problem is there's no way to go about that without being a terrible person.
The best part about it, though, he like is just like, he's
does
not
it for
picking and
ass.
choosing. He's just like, you know what, whatever.
I know, but if we go by the comics, he does it for ass. Come on.
Well,
mean,
that
A lot
who
of the
doesn't
worst
do a
in
lot
this
of things
world
for
has
that? I
happened
feel
because
like.
of that. So it's normal. Anyway,
Uh,
but yeah, Magneto, Iron Man, awesome characters.
I think this conversation has definitely taken up this group to the next level. We've powered up even. Dork, what's power up?
Power Up is a mechanic from the new Marvel superhero set. The best example of Power Up is Hulk Gamma Goliath, because not only does he power up, he also beats down anyone playing against him. So the mechanic himself is actually really sweet. So it's an activated ability that costs usually some amount of mana. So in this case, for Hulk, it's going to cost you 6 generic, a green, and a red, which is already tacked on to a 5-drop. So a lot of mana that you think you're going to sink into this creature, when in actuality, there's a upside to it. So, for instance, when you power up Hulk, which is usually for 6 generic, a red and a green, you put 5 1/1 counters on Hulk, and you can activate each power up ability only once. So something similar to like Monstrosity or any of those other similar activate abilities. However, unlike Monstrosity, there is a discount. You can reduce the cost by his mana cost if he entered this turn. So remember, he is a 5-drop, so you can discount him to what? 3 generic mana to power him up. So you basically get, for that total 8 mana, if you could just play him and immediately activate him, a 11/10 reach trampler that also discounts your power up abilities of each other creature you control by 3 generic mana. So if you clone Hulk somehow and you
That's
play
an
a Hulk,
uncommon.
yeah, no, Hulk dumb card, power up, good mechanic if you like just beating face. I think it fits very well in the limited environment. I'm not too certain how I feel about it as like a standalone for like a format like Commander, and especially not with like the standard meta being as fast as it is right now. But in terms of limited, where it is kind of going a little bit later and like the turns are a little bit more grindy and whatnot, you don't mind just taking like a same turn, drop Hulk, level him up. Now you got the biggest threat on the board that can make your future threats even worse. Like, I like the power up mechanic. I think thematically, with a lot of these examples, for it, they specifically selected a lot of like gamma based characters, or characters that have to like channel a certain artifact in a certain degree. So for instance, someone like White Tiger, who uses like the amulet to harness her powers and whatnot. She has a power up ability that not only gets her stronger, but in her case, she also makes a 4/4 green cat god creature token. For any of you wanting to make a unique creature token deck, with the line, the tiger god can't be blocked by more than one creature, because uncommons, why not? I like the versatility where it's not just monstrosity, where it's just upside then thing. I like that it all kind of showcase, it's either showcased very well in the character itself or showcased in the art. Like for instance, with She-Hulk Jade Defender, she blows up an artifact or an enchantment, and in the art she's just crumpling a truck. Like, it's so good. And there's a lot of great synergies within the set that care about activated abilities. So like a character like Shang-Chi, who specifically taps to produce mana to spend towards activated abilities of creature sources, which of course power up happens to be. So I like the mechanic. I think it's great and limited, and I'm curious to see where it will go for other formats as well.
Yeah, power up is fun and diverse. I think there are a couple that are cool. Like that one is just hilarious to me. Hey, I'm a big beater. If I was able to power up, I'm an even bigger beater. Where like Thanos's, for example, is just, oh, half of everything's gone. So yeah, like and his could be green, blue, colorless, just everything that's even is gone now.
Yeah.
Ugh. But yeah, I think power up's kind of cool. But you know what's funny? I didn't plan on this, but I think Emmara did. Emmara, what's plan?
Plan, you say? So what do villains love to do? They love to plan things, and we have a new enchantment subtype, which is plan. It's basically the Ascension series. When you look at it, basically each one of them has a triggered ability. Whenever you cast such a Doom reigns supreme. Enchantment plan, whenever a villain you control enters, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. And then you put a plan counter on this enchantment. The second paragraph is whenever a 5th plan counter is put onto this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do, target opponent exiles the top 5 cards of their library. You may cast up to 2 spells from among the exiled cards without paying their mana cost. So once you get those counters on there, you sacrifice the plan. It goes into action, and then you get basically, well, this Doctor Doom one is pretty cool. You get a cool little payoff, which doesn't usually happen in the comic books. The plans usually don't go very well. If anything, you should probably be punished. So these cards aren't real. I don't know what's going on. This is. They don't know what's going on here.
It's more so of the if he succeeds, bad things will happen.
Okay, it's a what if.
Yeah, exactly.
You got a what if section of
What
the,
if Doctor Doom reigns supreme?
Yeah,
Okay.
this is actually a cycle. We did get a cycle of plans. There is one in each of the mono colors. I don't think there's any there's none in colorless. I know that for a fact. I don't think there's any multicolor ones.
Yeah.
At least not in the main set that I know of. But yeah, I think plans are fun. Plans are fun.
Yeah.
These give me a reminiscence of the like the Kalani Heart Expedition, where like when a land enters but a quest counter on it. It feels like the very similar vein.
It's
so-
basically what they are, just with a different subtype. I can't build a deck around it. Like I love building like Kindred style decks or building around different themes, and like until they probably do one
the next Marvel
maybe
set.
once a year. Yeah, the next Marvel set, and then maybe like 30 years from now, I can make a Kindred deck for it.
Actually, interesting
know.
question. Dork, how are villains doing in limited?
Villains in limited, specifically red black, is where I predominantly, mainly because the uncommon we're gonna be talking about a lot of uncommons today.
Mhm.
The uncommon cycle of not only being able to produce a lot of the 2/1 menace tokens, which in and of themselves are very, very efficient of just beating face, and there are different ways of making abundance of them very quickly. It also leans into elements of the connive mechanic, so it will constantly be able to refill and replenish your hand. You could do a red black variant, you could do a Grixis variant, you could do a blue black variant of it. It's I think honestly, especially with the removal suite you have access in those colors, I want to say it's actually a bit better than any of the hero strategies I've seen so far. But I've only clocked like 20 hours ish of limited right now. So what I'm saying is very still in its infancy, and I'm curious to see how it will shape out, especially as we continue to feel out the format in the coming weeks. So
I feel kind of interesting. I just want to throw this out here that I know a lot of people complain about villains being in Grixis, and they definitely did not hold back with the commander deck on this one. The whole Grixis commander deck is just villains. It's really funny to see that like in Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Black Red were outlaws, arguably bad people, and Black Red in this set is villains, arguably bad people. It's funny how we are drifting towards the like every monocolor has its kindred, but now we're starting to drift towards now two colors are getting their kindreds. And apparently red blacks is just, hey, that's an evil ass person. They're black red.
Wizards doesn't know a lot of people.
But you know what? My explanation was not that worthy, but I think Geek might know what that means.
I'm going to talk about the card that this appears on because I know it's going to be talked about later. But worthy is an equip modifier. A creature is worthy if it's a legendary non-villain that's red and or white.
Okay.
Period. Which opens up a lot of worthy characters in Commander.
So
Don't even get me started.
Including
They
some
messed
villains.
up. They messed up.
Yeah, it's stupid. It's a stupid mechanic.
It's a
It
very
shouldn't
silly
be the way
mechanic
it
because
is.
Nicol Bolas
is
Yeah,
worthy.
Bullish, Elish,
wield be worthy.
Elish
Norn.
Norn is worthy. Yeah.
I made a video and I had to just not put it out because I was furious.
Oh, I was the opposite. I put it out. I literally said, y'all screwed up. Like the fact that both of my favorite war crime brethren, being Urza and Mishra, can wield Mjolnir, and it's just like a back and forth between the two of them, which is just so
Hey,
funny.
Vision
Uh,
can't. Vision can't carry it.
Vision can't.
Thor or Storm can't use it.
You know who could wield it though? Anybody you Darksteel mutation.
A little
Literally, if you put a
test-
Darksteel mutation on them, they become worthy of wielding Mjolnir.
Storm can carry
Oh,
it.
yeah,
Her
Storm can.
creatures- All hers
Oh,
are
yeah.
either red or white.
I think an
Okay.
easy fix for this, which I mean, obviously you can't make it perfect with a card like this, would have just simply put like any hero it can equip to hero, because like you're gonna get with the changelings and whatnot, they're all gonna be worthy. But like, look at their adorable little faces. Of course, those goobers are worthy. They don't know any about changelings now. I like changelings. They're not weird at all. Lorwyn changed me, and I'm not a changeling or anything crazy like that.
So we've seen augmentations to equips in the sense of like equip to a specific thing for a different mana cost. But how do y'all feel about the idea of adding something like worthy to an equip cost where it only can equip to this certain kind of thing because of X, Y, or Z factor?
I like the thematicness of it.
Yeah, it fits
Also, for
thematically
balance reasons,
better.
it's kind of interesting for them to be able to tweak that.
Mhm.
Can't just throw it on any old goober, as Dork says.
The goobers, give goobers hammers, okay? Weaponize the goobers. But also to really flesh out the mechanic as well. I think something like that where it specifically is tailored for like a certain creature type that can be, like in your words, augmented to it. I think it's fine, especially as they're getting more, creative and experimental within the design space, with mechanics like harness, for instance, right? Like when are we gonna see harness outside of the 6 Infinity Stones? And I would argue, hopefully never. Not because like, you got to keep the sets pure, but like to keep the mystique of Infinity Stones, they should do things that no other card can do. The same way I would expect Mjolnir to do something that no other hammer could do. Not even Mjolnir, printed from Assassin's Creed about 3 years ago, but that's besides the point.
I could have 2 hammers.
What can I do with all these hammers? I can
gonna
weaponize
become a
the
blacksmith.
goobers.
Hit rocks with them.
I swear to God, I'm gonna have like a new symbol for the goobers. It's just a changeling's face over like 2 hammers. It's the working goobers rebellion.
I like this.
The Riveteers love it.
Take us back to New Capenna.
We're gonna be ordered there too. See,
Privateer.
All of these sets, we've talked about all of these, that took teamwork, which is a mechanic that says as an additional cost to cast this spell, you may tap any number of creatures you control with total power X or more listed for the teamwork cost. And the card I have to show this off is We Say Thee Nay. It's 1 and a blue for an instant arcane spell with teamwork 2. Counter target spell unless its controller pays 2. You counter that spell unless its controller pays 4 if you cast it using teamwork. So teamwork is an additional casting cost. You could tap creatures to creatures with the power equal to it. So in this case, it's teamwork 2. So you need to tap creatures with total power 2 or 2
More.
or more. So I think this is fun. I like the additional cost to cast these spells. They do better things if you pay them, provided instead of you're forced to pay these extra ones. Teamwork's just fun to me. You're right. You're 100% right. However,
Everything's kicker.
everything's kicker.
Everything is kicker.
But yeah, I like teamwork a lot. I think white blue as like a draft archetype was like tapping shenanigans. We'll talk about the signpost uncommon for that because it's on my list. Shocking after my introduction in the beginning. So yeah, I like this card. I think it's fun. And I think teamwork as
Like
an
the art.
ability is fun. Oh yeah.
The
We'll
art's
actually be talking about
fucking
another
strange.
teamwork card that's also on my list. I don't know if anybody else,
Yeah.
else actually has a teamwork card.
We'll find out.
Yeah. With that, I think there was some returning mechanics. We won't talk about those. I built a primer when we're all doing this, and I list out like all the mechanics that appear in the set, and like Connive's there. We're not going to talk about it. Connive's a returning mechanic across the board. We only want to talk about the new ones. And like Worthy, realistically, we didn't have to talk about, but like at the same time, I did want to make sure we talked about it. So there was that. If I missed anything, I apologize. I'm bad at my job. Who cares? What we are going to do is we're going to talk about 2 things right now, and Dork's already alluded to them, where we're actually going to talk about the 2 current Infinity Stones. I'm going to just go ahead and I'm going to read both of them, and then we're going to go ahead and talk about them in totality. So we're going to start off with the one that appeared in Marvel's Spider-Man, and that is the Soul Stone. It's 1 and a black for a legendary artifact Infinity Stone, and it has indestructible. Tap, add a black. 6 and a black, tap, and exile a creature you control. Harness the Infinity Stone. Once harnessed, its infinity ability is active. And then for infinity, at the beginning of your upkeep, return target creature card from your graveyard to the battlefield. So that is one. And then the new one we just got, which is in this set, is the Mind Stone. It's a 2 mana artifact. It taps and adds a colorless. You can pay 1, tap, and sack it to.
That's a white.
The producer has just told me that I am reading the wrong Mind Stone. The Mind Stone is 1 and a white for a legendary artifact Infinity Stone. It has indestructible. It has tap, add white. It has 5 and a white, and tap it, harness the Mind Stone. Once harnessed, its infinity ability is active. And then when its affinity ability is active, at the beginning of your end step, exile up to 1 other target non-land permanent you control, then return that card to the battlefield under its owner's control. So, Dork kind of already put out their opinion on the Infinity Stones, with the whole harness thing being fun and unique about it. I agree. I'm in the same boat as this. The Infinity Stones were always going to be something really interesting to see how they kind of tacked it down, because I'm like, they can't ignore it. There's no way in hell they could ignore the Infinity Stones. I think Emmara and I could both agree from like a comic standpoint, one of the most important plot points that ever gets brought up across the entirety of the comics. If they ever appear at all, they're the most important thing, bar like nothing else. Unless it's a memory wipe. Because memory wipes, everything's explained away with a memory wipe, and it bothers the shit out of me. I digress. How do we feel? We'll start with Dork, then go to Emmara, then to Geek, and then I'll finish up. How do you feel about the Infinity Stones so far?
They suck. No, they're fine. I think, how should I put it? So I guess this brings up a good story. So recently, I play a lot of mono black, like an absurd amount of mono black, probably an unhealthy amount of mono black. As the guy who wants to have like every possible combination of like commander deck with like each one doing its own unique theme. I'm very hypocritical with how much mono black I brew. So with that being said, I was very disappointed that when I was building, my commander decks and whatnot, and when I was opening Spider-Man, I never got a Soul Stone. Never. Not in a million years. And I'm not expecting the super deluxe, like, Baconator with cheese Soul Stone, right? With Thanos on the art. I just want a basic ass Soul Stone, right? That's all I want. Because again, it is a mana rock that can be slotted into just about any mono black deck that you have, and be surprisingly good. With that being said, I recently was shooting an episode of Bar Pulls, and I had like my Star Lord helmet on, so I couldn't shoot shit. And it's also like a dimly lit dive bar and whatnot. I'm cracking it open, and we're making content for the ad. And I open up in the same pack a Mind Stone and a Hulk, and I went, oh, okay, that's cool. So it's just my dumbass being like, oh yeah, and then I take the helmet off. I'm like, oh, okay. So I ended up taking it to a local event recently, the Fish Bowl, where they had vendors and such. I ended up selling it to the guy there because, like, admittedly, one, uh, it okay. It's just it's okay. It's a Soul Stone. It's also like as a whole, like the mana rock cycle is fine, and the only deck I have for it is like Brago, and I'm like a really big advocate of like, I'm not gonna run this in a deck. Go get cards that you will, right? Offload your collection. If you want to collect, but if you're not going to use it for anything else, get cool cards you will run. So I ended up offloading mine, with the whole like purpose of like, getting things I actually wanted. And the vendor was like, I know I'm going to buy this and regret this in a few weeks, because admittedly, with the sheer volume of them being opened and like just like the very fringe commander play that these, goobers see, they are very inflated, right? And I think they could have done a lot more to showcase why they are Infinity Stones. I'm not saying break the game. I'm not saying reprint the Moxen, right? But again, they kind of are when these chase cards are hitting, tens of thousands of dollars and X, Y, and Z, sell your firstborn child and whatnot to appease Lady Death. uh I feel very underwhelmed when I look at these, and I'm like, this doesn't feel, not only does it not necessarily feel like an Infinity Stone, it doesn't feel like the Infinity Stone it's meant to represent. I did an analysis prior being like, oh, these are the colors I think they'd be, and this will be the gauntlet, and we'll, so on and so forth, 5-color, blah blah blah, Fist of the Suns, all so on and so forth. And admittedly, I'm like looking at them, and I'm not saying like, oh, I could have done it better, no, but I am saying like, oh, it's fine, I guess. Like it's nothing to write home about. And if you miss out on them too much, which is a shame for things literally called the Infinity Stones, So flowers where they're due. I think the harness mechanic is a great way to showcase the individuality and what makes them unique, but I don't think the execution is there. Great setup, not nearly as much delivery, I guess.
I can understand that. Amara, how about you?
They don't excite me, I guess. I don't know.
Huh.
Like, I just look at them and I'm like, I don't have anywhere to put them. I can use them as a mana rock, I guess. But like, I, I guess my biggest concern is like, once the gauntlet is together, what is gonna be the final ability that's going to excite me? Like, I'm gonna win the game. That's what I'm trying to do anyway. I could use a one card or two cards to do that instead of trying to get 6 cards together. I don't know. It just
7 with the gauntlet.
yeah, I'm just like yeah, because do I need the gauntlet too? Like it seems like a lot of work. Like I love jumping through hoops, but like I don't know. I know this is a problem years down the line, but I don't know. I wasn't very excited about either of these. I don't know. I just it blinks, and there's easier ways to blink. I don't know. It's there.
No, I understand. Geek.
They are slightly power crept mana rocks to me. 2 mana for an indestructible thing that comes in untapped, taps for color, and has an extra ability for later. I mean, it's cool, but it's not, as Amara said, it's not exciting. And I'm actually kind of weirded out that the Mind Stone's not blue.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I would have expected it to be blue.
I
Yeah.
don't understand. It doesn't
Because
make
So-
sense.
Everything about it is also blue. It blinks. Blue blinks.
Oh,
Don't
white
even get me
blinks.
started with Vision and his colored colorlessness.
No, robot. He robot.
Yeah.
He be color. He be gray.
Uh,
I hate it
I
so
would say
much.
while my biggest thing for the Infinity Stones is I am in the same vein as the rest of you. I'm like, yes, sure, absolutely, 100%. I am fully in the agreement that these are overpriced Mana Rocks. Looking at them currently, the Soul Stone's sitting at $93 and the Mind Stone's sitting at 68. So like, kind of wild. Uh,
Yeah.
I think I'm mostly in the same department as Dork in the sense of like harness, really cool idea, just unfortunate execution. It's I think I've explained this on many a video where that's how I feel about Luca. I think Luca is a really, 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 really cool concept. He was absolutely poor shit ass execution. And this is not in the same vein. I definitely don't think this is as like, oh my god, the Infinity Stones are going to be awesome, and then they shit the bed. I'm like, these are fine, and that's okay. It's okay for a card like this to just be that. It's okay for it to just be fine. I think what they should have done is harnessing should have been similar to transform. So this thing is a Mana Rock on its front face, and you have to go through a hoop to harness it. And when you harness it, it transforms and becomes absolutely bonkers. That's what it should have been, in my personal opinion.
I can see that.
Yeah. So like, oh, you've harnessed the Soul Stone by paying its cost to achieve the stone. Woof! Here's this super ultra powerful Mana Rock you were the super powerful rock that you grabbed.
I can see that, definitely.
I think it's also important, and I don't mean to spoil anything here, so slap me on the wrist if you have to. It's important to point out that, like, being the super ultimate ultra chase card of the set, which already I'm not in love with having one of these every single set. I think that's kind of crappy, to be honest, especially when some of the cards just aren't. I'm not saying aren't good, but rather like just they don't have like evergreen homes per se. Like there's not a real reason to chase these. They're not like the bonus sheets. They're not like, anything like that. They're just one of a card that sees play in very niche or fringe ways. I think it's very telling that when we actually compile the cards that we're like excited to talk about, and we can't wait to talk about them. None of us chose the stone. Nobody wants to talk about their pet rock right now, right? Because unfortunately, it's very, okay. It is very lukewarm at best. To the point that like, why would I want to talk about? Yeah, it's my pet rock. Why would I want to talk about something, lukewarm when I could be talking about something that's piping hot, right? And I think that if this card was not the chase card in the set, if it was not like the super deluxe one, it would just be another card in the set. Genuinely, I think it would be just another card in the set.
Mm-hmm. I don't disagree at all. I think I would have rather have seen Spider-Man not get any of them, and I'd rather get 2 per like major sets that matter. So like, because I think that would have given them more time to like really, I guess, cook with them. I wanted to bring them up because they are a talk about something. This is something that people will go into conversations about. When we, I will say, I am also in the vein of like the color identity of the Soul Stone. Like Soul Stone, when I really think about it, soul magic is black aligned. So realistically, the Soul Stone does actually make sense in black. The Mind Stone, I sit here and I'm like, yeah, white does seem like a weird place for it. But the problem breaks down into, I don't see any of the stones in white. I don't think white mana really aligns with what any of the stones do. So the question is the Mind Stone just put there? And I'm like, the idea of the mind being pulled from the body to protect it or put it back is something that white does do. Reality's gonna be red. If it's not red, I'm gonna absolutely scream because red is reality based.
It's gonna be green.
You get green. No, literally, you get green. Your elemental power is green.
And the space stone's gonna be blue, and it's gonna do a blink effect too.
I actually wouldn't be surprised if it literally is just tutoring.
That'd be fine.
Why does the space stone not have blink?
Get to a land. Oh my god, just Sylvan. It's just a Sylvan Scrap new land. It warps reality.
I would love actually. I would 100% play the reality stone if that thing comes in and when you harness it, reality warps something every turn. That's
what
very
I'm
funny.
Like chaos warp something. That'd be so.
Yeah, well, the Wonder does that.
I want a repeatable chaos warp. Thank you very much.
I want a repeatable warp world.
No, that's too fun.
Repeatable scramble verse.
It's
Let's do
wild.
it.
If
The
you do a reality stone and its harness is at my upkeep, I get to chaos warp something. I am buying 5 of them.
$1 billion was spent on all of these rocks.
Just that one. I
uh,
love chaos warp.
but
It's one of my
yeah,
favorite cards.
as far as the other ones are concerned, I have no idea what they're gonna do. I couldn't even imagine what the idea of like the green, the blue, and the
Green's
colorless one
power.
are gonna do.
The green one's gonna look for a land every turn. Or
I
it's gonna
really
double your
hope
land
it
cost.
doesn't.
It's gonna Green's gonna double the power and toughness of a creature probably and give it a counter.
Yeah,
Something like that.
That'll be the power. Actually, no. The reality stone will be red. The power stone will be green.
the power stone's
Mhm.
realistically gonna be green. I'm curious what the
Mhm.
colorless one's gonna be. That's gonna be the
The
really
Space
interesting-
probably.
That space would make the most sense as colorless for me because Emmara started to talk about that, and I'm like, I actually think space doesn't have a color.
And then they're gonna give us 2 different variants of the gauntlet. Obviously, like they're gonna give it like to be a base card. It's gonna be 5 colors, and then they're gonna do a reprint on the bonus sheet for Fist of Suns. So quote
Realistically,
me on it. Dork called it.
Just
I
the
actually-
subs for the
I ac-
original Infinity
Call you in
Gauntlet.
30 years.
I actually think what I'd like
Gauntlet
the
power.
Infinity Gauntlet to do, if you're going through all of this work for the Infinity Stones, the Gauntlet should literally just be you pay 5 colors into it, tap it, it searches for a stone, brings it into play harnessed. Like straight up, you should be able to cheat the harnessing cost if you're doing all of this work.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's gotta
Quite
be
frankly,
something
it's
for
probably what a
kitties.
new Thanos. What were you saying, Amara? I talked over you. I'm sorry.
Oh no, they have to do something to make it. I don't know, some kind of tutor, I guess, to find the stones. I don't know. Something has to happen.
That's what I'm thinking. I
Or
think
Thanos has a tutor ability of some sort. Like
Or
you can,
that.
he's 5 colors. You can pay blue and 3 colorless to go and find that certain stone. You wouldn't have enough text on the box to do it. But
don't make him a friggin'
Flippy.
Lord Urza, Lord High Artificer, please, I beg you. But with that being said, so yeah, that's how we feel about the stones. The next thing I want to talk about in this, so that we're moving right along, is actually the new rare land cycle, which I'll go ahead and I'll just read one here. The one I'm going to read is the first one that comes up when we're going through this, I believe it is. So it is Dark Fortress. So there are 5 lands. They're all in allied colors. Yes.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh, stop it. They're all in allied colors. The one I'm going to read is the black-red one. It's Dark Fortress. It's a land. It taps and adds a colorless, or it taps and adds a black or a red. You activate only if this land entered this turn, or if you control a basic land. So we got black, red, white, green, white, blue, green, red, and blue, black are 5 colors there. I like these. I think they're fun.
I am. a
These will
fan.
These will hopefully stay cheap because these are
They-
actually good lands to put in.
They should, based on the abundance of like, them being pulled in, every variety of pack just about. They come in different treatments and such. I think I've seen like a few of them only like around a couple of bucks. I think one of the main reasons of that is like you obviously want these in your 2 color decks, and like there is going to be fringe play in 3 colors because how many 3 color plus decks are you running an abundance of basics? There could be. Yeah, I know you do, but anyone but you. But with that being said, another very important thing to bring up, which was something that I was talking to Geek about, was limited play, which has opened the door because it's not only that cycle of lands, but they also have their own cycle of gain lands as well, unique gain lands to be more specific. So it's allowed for the limited environment to enable 3+ colors more flexibly, similar to something like a Tarkir block, like an original Tarkir block for you crazy kids all caught up on that dragon. Back in my day, we had 3 blocks, and one of them was bad. Yes,
The middle one.
I miss block so much.
Oh,
I miss them so
depends on
much.
so it depends on the set, or it depends on the plane/set. But yes, blocks can be very helpful, especially for this very reason, especially with Omen Path shenanigans and such. But also I think they should stay low purely because right now with standard, nothing. I said nothing beats rock, nothing beats shock. Shocklands in standard is just so good, especially with verges, and certain decks, if they want to have like a slower game plan, will use the what is it, like starting town and stuff like that, or different like tap lanes that you don't have to worry about with Avatar. where too much of these non-basic variety will make it difficult to have consistent fixing in something like standard. Even though primarily they are 2-color strategies, you might run one of them just on an off chance that you hit your basics, or like you get it turn 1, you immediately get your fixing. But I don't think it will make to be too vindictive of the price of them too far. I think they're gonna like settle in at like a lower price point and be like the quintessential dual land fixer for 2-color strategies. People don't want to buy like shocks and such.
Emmara, what do you think about them?
I am a fan of them. I mean, I play basics in my commander decks, unlike some people. And like, I imagine in standard they're really super useful. I don't play standard very often, but like, I don't know. I am a fan of like, what is the other cycle that when you have? I think you have to have a certain.
Well, there's also
land
the
out,
check lands. You know,
Yeah.
it comes in untapped if you control one of the basics, or
Yeah.
it's not the basics, it's just the type. This I like that this has. It just comes in untapped and has no checking. It's just untapped and it can do the thing if it needs to be. It's flexible. I'm not gonna run them even in my 2 colors because I run basics.
I will.
I think it'll depend for me. Truly, I think there's a couple of them where just honestly thematically they make a ton of sense. Like, I'm building a black-red Zuko deck for Zuko Conflicted, and Dark Fortress sounds like something that a Conflicted Zuko would be like, I don't know if I should go in there or not, and I'd be like, get in there, bitch. It's
I'm glad that like
stay in there, Daddy needs you.
I'm glad
Sorry.
that like they made them so that they are not named after things and they've learned their lessons about that. Like, because like there's certain Mirrodin lands or new Phyrexia lands that they can't go anywhere. They can only be reprinted if we go have a master set or if we're on that plane. So like,
Emmara,
silly back in the day.
I'm thinking about how much I would love for these decks to get a fucking tri-land.
Would be so nice.
2 cycles of tri-lands. Deal with it. That go crazy.
Oh God. But yeah, so
Again.
yeah, so the land cycle's fun. Good job, Wizards. Good job on this land cycle. That being
made
said,
it.
we got one more thing to talk about. This is the surprise thing I brought up before we started. Before we start talking about it. This should be a quick one. This should be a quick one because I think our opinions on this are probably already pretty settled. Let's talk about what is arguably a really bad line of text on a card as we talk about the Serpent Society. It's 1 black and a green for a 3/3 legendary creature human snake villain with Death Touch and Ward, get 5 poison counters, and whenever another creature you control with Death Touch dies, each opponent sacrifices a non-token creature of their choice. Should remind everybody that, and it puts in the reminder text of this card, a player with 10 or more poison counters loses the game. That is why some people have had a problem with this card and why they were talking about it. I think the problem with this card is that goddamn Edict effect. Because I hate the fact that it says the word non-token. I can't get around the damn thing. That's my problem with it. Ultimately, after a long conversation with this card, I think it's a weird line of text to put on there. It does still feel kind of bad because I think I can't remember whose video I was watching, but they made up a good point where good people are not playing this card. It's going to be the people who are like, oh, I'm going to cast this spell to redirect your spell to here. Now you have to pay the ward cost or your spell's countered. And it's the, okay, I could pay it this one time. And then they go, cool, you can never target my commander again unless you have a spell that's not counterable. And that's where it's going to go. We're heading to that point where people are going to go, they're not playing this card because they're like, oh, I like Death Touchers. They're playing this card because of that line of text and the line of text after it. But ultimately, I could give a shit. Play what you're going to play.
I didn't even think of like the whole like once you cast removal one time, you can never do it. See, that didn't dawn on me. because like in arena, like it lets you know like, hey, you got to pay the ward, right? So like just the feels bad of like, all right, I got my removal spell. Let's just say I have like a Bitter Triumph. So I discard a card to Bitter Triumph. I target the Serpent Society with the removal. I pay the ward cost. Snakeskin Veil. Die. like the fact that you can make someone pay that ward and then still have protection up in green and black with cards like, you know, Tameo Safekeeping or Not Dead After All. You could snake scam someone, which is super cool. I had the chance and opportunity to actually play against Serpent Society recently at the cookout with none other than the voice of President Barack Obama, Bill Butts from Baki, which was hilarious individual. Wanted to shout him out. He's incredible. His playmat is literally real Obama, and then his character in the anime Obama. And like he would use the voice and stuff. He was delightful. And when he played the deck, it's scary. Like he even admitted he didn't like upgrade or anything crazy like that. But the fact that you can run like this with like Finn the Fangbearer and like a bunch of stuff that just gives your creatures Death Touch, Basilisk Call, like there's a bunch of like stupid stuff with protection as well. I think this is going to be the plague of like bracket 2.5, maybe 3s here and there. As like the feels bad, okay, I just got punted by the Jeskai deck. Let me whip this out really quick to get my lick back before I play my normal deck. Oh, I might whip it up for a funny video, right? You know, just because the fact that it does have such a like insanely diabolical ward around it, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Emmara, for you on this card, I don't actually know the Serpent Society that well. I do know King Cobra's a part of it, but like I actually don't know this one that well. Do you?
Yeah, they show up a lot of times against Cap.
That's
They're
kind of
usually never the same team either. There's more members than there's a lot of members
There's more
that
members
belong to
you
the
think
Serpent
they can.
Society, and usually they just defeat themselves. Like I get why they have. I mean, they all are poisonous snakes, so I get and usually there's 4 or 5 of them on the team at a time. So all these things make sense to me. Like when I look at a card, I like the card to tell a story. So and I want to see the character in the card. So like this is my judging it here, but I don't know. It's every set has some kind of boogeyman style card that everybody gets all panicky about and is like, oh god, this is gonna ruin Magic. And I'm just like, I've been playing for 32 years. I've seen a lot of stupid ass shit. So like, and if you're playing with somebody who's playing it, you know what you're getting yourself into. You already just told them you're playing. Like usually, if you're rule zeroing or whatnot, like you know you're probably playing some kind of poison deck that's gonna be a pain in the ass, and that all 3 of you are gonna have to join up and make sure this person's not playing anymore. And then maybe they'll get the point that maybe they shouldn't be trying to do what they're doing. I don't know.
Geek.
That's my feistiness about it.
Oh yeah, Geek. You and I have had a quick conversation
yeah.
about this card.
I agree with Emmara. It's a self-policing card. If you roll up at my table and you say, I'm playing Serpent Society, I'm like, I know exactly who you are. I'm killing you as fast as I can, and you're not going to have a good time. Stop playing this card. I'm also not that worried about the card. I don't have to pay the ward cost. Board wipes exist and don't target. I do hate repeatable edict effects. That's one of the things I absolutely detest about Commander. However, it's no worse than anything else I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Like also, oh, you first. Sorry about this, Griff.
The real quick thing is like this. Is this going to lead to feel bad games? Absolutely, I don't doubt that at all. However, honestly, any card can kind of do that. Does this have a higher chance? Absolutely, I won't back down from that statement. This will have a higher chance to lead to a feel bad game, but ultimately, yeah, Emmara is correct though as well. Like there has been like a card per set where people are like, "Hey, Wizards, can you put down the pipe for a second?" Well, for me, it started with Sephiroth. I when I first saw him, I went, Wizards. Who? What?
Sephiroth.
Yeah, how'd this get past R&D? Did you not proofread it?
Because he's Sephiroth. Because he should be that good. No. Because he should be that good. He did get through R&D. I'm literally talking about him tomorrow. You
I'm
stay away from my waifu.
I'm
I swear
sorry.
to God, it's
I'm-
Anime Expo week. I'm fired up.
I'm sorry,
Catch
there
me
are
there.
better
All right.
villains than Sephiroth in Final Fantasy. I'm just saying. Anyway, but
Yeah, that's why Kefka's good too. That's what
Okay.
Kefka cooks.
Oh, the
Kefka's good as
Kefka
hell.
card.
but
Oh,
Dork, I
so
did interrupt you.
good.
What were you gonna say?
It's all good. I was gonna say, like, it dawns on me, it's only 3 power. So if like you're in a position where you're so worried about 3 power on a creature, man, I would hate to see you play against Voltron. You know what I mean? So with that being said, this does open the window to something I wasn't even considering because I was thinking like go wide. You got your little ankle biters, you got your Fin the Fangbear, you got all your little Death Touch little goobers, makes it a pain in the ass, give them all impact. In the meanwhile, you can also just make this like insanely fun, like I put quotes around fun, fun Voltron strategy for your commander, where it's like gonna put the Greaves on him, gonna give him a hammer, gonna put Rancor on him, and just keep on piling it up. So it's like, okay, crap. Now, not only can I not deal with the ward cost because it's like super pillow forted, but also it's just big enough to beat the crap out of me. And if I do get rid of it, or if I get rid of the board and I go wide, it has an edict effect. It's messed up. It's so scuffed. I love that. That's so
That's why
dumb.
that's why I only run exile board wipes and things that give negatives. I don't want things to come back. I don't want to deal with things.
My downside is that I've recently changed to becoming more stringent with my board wipes in the sense of I try to use board wipes that do not affect me. If I'm going to cast this, I want to, when it comes out on the other side, everybody else is decimated and I'm sitting here and I still look half pretty. I might only be taking 3rd place at the beauty pageant, but I actually placed. is my train of thought towards it. He does absolutely 100% shit on that mentality. He's just like, oh yeah, you killed my 6 other Death Touchers. Please sack 6 creatures. I only have 3. Sack them twice. Damn it. But with that, folks, we are finally moving into our favorite cards from the set. They will go, as they always will, we will go honorable mention, 5, 4, 3, favorite legend, 2, and then 1. The cycle will always go Dork, Emmara, Geek, myself. Again, like I always say, last, where I belong. And yeah, with that, we'll have some times. After my honorable mention, I will have one last, like, question I did not put down on the primer, because I think it's a fun question to talk about. But after that, we should just be discussing our relative cards. So, Dork, what is your honorable mention?
Before I fill the world with my honorable mention, which unfortunately, there's kind of like a excited honorable mention, which I'm like, yeah. There's like a honorable mention, and then there's I'm gonna hijack this dishonorable mention. If you play the Vision in Limited, I don't like you. I don't like that card in Limited. It's so annoying, and I think why I'm so annoyed by it, outside of the fact that it doesn't die when it should, is the fact that they spent all that money at Magicon for Paul Bettany. Now, he seems like a nice guy. I think that's great. I think it's good marketing, kinda, if you want, like, I don't know, an Avenger, I guess, at Magicon, if people cared about that. Just the amount of, like, life that got sucked out of the air when that was the review. God damn. Anyway, I don't like that card. Dishonorable mention. Stinky Magic card. Bad Magic card. Don't draft it. Pass it to me. I will burn it and throw it. No, I'll play it against you and beat house with it. I think it's got like a 56% win rate, but it's a dumb card. I hate it. Honorable mention in terms of like, it's all right. The comic book cover treatments for the villains. Those, of course, being Doctor Doom, Thanos, and Ultron. They're honorable mentions in the sense that the art is phenomenal. My God, that's some pretty art. Cameraman, zoom. Don't drop that. Cameraman, zoom. Incredible art. The reason why they're honorable mentions to me, however, is I think Ultron's the best one of the 3. Doom and Thanos just don't do it for me, which is a shame because the art's fucking phenomenal. It is so good. I just wish mechanically the cards were also that good. Like, I want to build an MF Doom deck so bad, like right now, but like I just can't justify it because the card isn't there for me. And then finally, my official honorable mention, I could not use Jumpstart or anything like that for this time around. But come on, it's my catchphrase. It's clobbering time. Come on, it's so good. It's such a thematic win. And I also just love that whole cycle of different cards that they had for each member of the Fantastic Four. I just did a deck list recently about the Fantastic Four where every single card in it costs 4 mana. And you might be wondering, how the fuck do you play anything before turn 4? Morphing, Convoking, cheating things out that way, but also those cards in particular discount one way or another. So some of them are like equal to the number of heroes you control, equal to the number of cards you've drawn. So it is 4 mana, but they're cheaper. I just love it. I love It's Clobbering Time. It's always gonna be my catchphrase. It's always gonna be my slogan. And to see it on a Magic card, I'm gonna need like 80 copies of it. So send me your copies of It's Clobbering Time. So those are my honorable, exhonorable, and dishonorable mentions. There we go. all in that order.
No arguments. What does It's Clobbering Time do?
It clobbers on time. So let me pull it up because I don't have the jump start.
That is correct.
I just remember it said the words and I liked it. There we go. So It's Clobbering Time is 3 mana, 2 generic and a green for a true. It's a modal, and if you get this in your jumpstart pack, you better be excited. 'Cause it's so cool. You choose 1. Target creature you control deals damage equal to its power to target creature an opponent controls. So it's a bite, or in this case, a bonk. Or you destroy target artifact or enchantment, and you might want to dork. It costs 1 more mana for like prey upon / sticked onto a naturalize sorcery speed. Why is it so good? Because it has rebound. You could twice. He has 2 fists. It has the thing just beating the ever living crap out of the Super Scroll. I love the art that Thomas Chamberlain Keen has done. It's just so good. Just like the sense of scale, like big rock fit. He's just so rugged in the art. So yeah, in short, it beat face. It good card. Play it now.
Nice.
Yeah, that's just fun. I have made an executive decision. Moving forward, we're going to so we're sticking with the main set here. There will be another episode coming out for what we're going to be just calling it the Eternal side of this, where we'll look at the Jumpstart and Commander decks and scene cards and Secret Lairs, I guess. God, there's so many fucking cards for this set. Where we'll go more into those. Thank you, Emmara. Appreciate that.
I don't know. It's a really small set. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's so tiny. But with that in mind, we will open it up. I think the next episode that we do for Dungeon Delving, because I believe our next set is Reality Fracture.
Hobbit.
Oh, it is Hobbit. Okay.
Hobbit.
With
A
Hobbit,
whole nother UV before we get back to the world.
we're gonna just open it up to everything. Instead of just restricting ourselves to the main
small
set.
set anyway.
So
Yeah,
yeah, I know there's no
small set
commander
anyway.
decks, I believe. Anyway,
Wait, Geek, you didn't hear? They're actually splitting the Hobbit into 3 different sets. We're going back to block.
they're
It's
actually
beautiful.
you joke, but we are actually getting a Hobbit product in 2027.
I know. I love it so much. I've been rallying so hard for that set. That's another podcast. I'm so excited for Hobbit.
So, Emmara, what is your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is Mjolnir, the Hammer of Thor. So whenever I'm building, I have like 3 decks that I will always upgrade, and that's the first thing I always look for are parts. And Mjolnir is an equipment card, a legendary artifact. When it comes into the battlefield, it deals 4 damage to up to 1 target creature, and then double all damage a quick creature would deal, as long as that character is worthy. Which we already discussed that, and yeah, not a fan. You can also pay 1 red and 2 colorless to discard this card, and it deals 2 damage to each creature. So the cool thing about this, I play Dogmeat. Dogmeat is one of my favorite cards. I have 5 Dogmeat decks, and they all do different things, and so this equipment will be going in there. I like that I can actually discard it, and then you can just go get it back if I need it. And also, like, that deck usually wins through combat damage, so like being able to double Dogmeat's damage when I'm already winning. I think that deck is what, like 60% of the time. Like, it's just another piece that I'm just like, another equipment, excellent. And now I can have Dogmeat hold 2 hammers. So
And that dog is totally worthy.
Oh,
he is very worthy.
He's a good boy.
The best boy. Like, he brings me things all the time, and he's gonna bring me fucking Mjolnir.
Nice.
Geek, what is your honorable mention?
My honorable mention is also a red card, shocking to absolutely no one. It's Hawkeye, Master Marksman, 1 and a red for a human archer hero, 2/2, first strike and reach. Trick arrows. Whenever he becomes tapped, you may pay 1 up to 3 times. When you do, choose up to that many. And the modes are he's got a net arrow, which target creature can't block this turn. He's got an explosive arrow. Hawkeye deals 2 damage to target player. And he has a boomerang arrow. Discard a card, then draw a card. I love red. I like the flexibility of this card. It can do practically anything. If it's your commander, no one knows what you're playing. They're like, what kind of strategy are you doing? And if it's in the 9/9, it's just a role player. It does anything you need at the time you need it. And being a first striker, it's harder to block.
And reacher.
It's not going to die as much. And it's reaching. It's just solid card. Not like super like it doesn't like make me super duper duper excited, but it's a very good card, and I'll probably use it.
I shout out for Ryan. Hawkeye is Ryan's favorite character.
Yep. I had to put it in there for him too.
My honorable mention is Herbie, Scout Unit. He's 4 mana for a 2/1 artifact creature robot scout with flying, and when this creature enters, draw a card, then you put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield tapped. If anybody knows anything about me, my favorite card in all of Magic is Solemn Simulacrum. So this is Solemn Zero Sugar. Is the best way to phrase this thing. So actually, my question for the group before we move into our number 5s is, we now have a common, which Herbie, an uncommon, which is Scuttling Surveyor, and then the rare, which is Solemn Simulacrum. At what point can we look at a card that is either rare or uncommon in like an effect of cards and we go, can't that just be a common at this point because of what it does? And so does this put it into the idea that Solemn should just be a common now? He's actually only ever been printed at rare. I don't think he's ever been anything short of rare as a card, which is kind of crazy to me.
And
So
I'm surprised he hasn't been downshifted.
Yeah, so the big question
It
is,
should be at least uncommon, but with uncommon's wildness.
well, so
Yeah.
the hilarious thing about this is that Herbie can miss, right? If you draw a card, so you'll always draw the card for him, and if you don't have a land, then you don't get the second half of it. Scuttling Surveyor doesn't draw you a card, but he doesn't have to find a basic. He can also find a cave. Not that all of them are majorly good. The one that I would immediately shout out is actually Volatile Fjord. That can or Volatile Fault. I'm so sorry. Volatile Fault, because that can blow up a land, and land destruction, targeted land destruction is very strong.
Play your targeted land destruction.
Play your
Everyone must
targeted land
destroy
destruction.
the cradle.
Yes.
Big proponent.
Or your Glacial Chasms. So,
Yes.
but yeah, and then Solemn is go find a basic, dies, draws a card. I think the reason why Solemn can stay a rare when we look at these abilities is because a single card can shut down the common and uncommon. A single card cannot shut down Solemn. If you're playing Elish Norn, Mother of Machines, who we know stops ETBs, you get nothing for Scuttling Surveyor or Herbie. And yeah, you won't get the land for Solemn, but Solemn can still die and draw you a card. So the question is that... Well, also true. But yes. But yeah, in order to shut down Solemn completely, though, you need a second card. There's no one card that shuts him down in both fashions. But the question for you is there an effect that you see happening on like a rare card that you're like, can't we just downshift this to common for the pauper players, please? I play PDH a lot because I love PDH. I love building restrictions. God, I would love to put Solemn in a friggin' PDH deck. I would kill for him. Herbie will do.
I got Lightning Bolt in common. I'm happy.
I got Blunder. I was like really racking my brain for a second. No, I mean, Like, come to think, I was actually thinking the opposite approach. Honestly, I was like, when are we getting a mythic solemn simulacrum? When are we getting 3
Please.
solemns on a stick? When are we
We
getting
got a
the
rare.
legendary
We got another one. It's
solemn?
called Golos, and he should be unbanned.
Unbanned Golos.
Free my
Coward.
boy.
Golos didn't do anything.
We have so
Didn't do
many
anything wrong.
5-color commanders that are terrifying and stupid now that there's no reason why
The
it shouldn't be.
The Golos deck I built was 5-color, no color. All the spells had devoid.
Nice.
Yeah.
If Golos gets freed, I make a food deck and I get it altered to look like Anthony Bourdain.
That's beautiful. I like that. That's good.
All right, folks, with that short discussion out of the way, we are now on to our top 5s. We're actually into our list of cards. It's been long enough. Dork, what is your number 5?
I don't do top 5s, I do top 4s. But for you, I'll make an exception by breaking your rules again. My number 5 is 4. It's the Fantastic Four, and I don't mean from the Jumpstart set. I mean the entire uncommon infinite combo cycle of all of them together. Now, by themselves, they're not too crazy, right? Except for Invisible Woman. You put Invisible Woman in any card in deck in Limited, banger, absolutely banging card, absolutely incredible. But you put the 4 of them together, my god, they broke Limited. They have an infinite combo. In case you're not familiar, here's how you get it started, right? You have all of them in play, and you simply draw a card. Well, you might be wondering, Dork, what happens when you draw a card? Well, when you draw a card, Human Torch Johnny Storm will deal 1 damage to target opponent, right? And then that will trigger the thing, Ben Grimm, who says whenever 1 or more heroes you control deal damage to a player, not combat damage, but damage, you put 2 1/1 counters on the thing, right? That gets a counter on the thing. And then what does the Invisible Woman do? The Invisible Woman says whenever you put 1 or more +1/+ counters on 1 or more other heroes you control, you may create a 0/4 colorless wall creature token with Defender. Ben Grimm happens to be a hero, so you make your token. And so finally, the last piece of the puzzle, Mr. Fantastic Reed Richards. Whenever 1 or more tokens you control enters, you may draw a card. So you can stop the loop at any time, but you don't want to until they're dead, because you will draw a card off the token, which triggers Johnny, which gets the counter on Ben, which then gets the token off of Sue, which at that point, if you don't kill your opponent somehow, you messed up. You did something wrong. And the fact that you can pull this off in Limited, and actually extremely well, as something we've talked about earlier with like good mana fixing, the Baxter building just being a good land in Limited. Yeah, no, it's awesome. I love how the 4 are represented in every capacity. Be it, in their commander deck in Jumpstart, and now especially in the main set. I love to see them do Fantastic Four fun stuff. So that's my number 5 is the Fantastic Four.
Oh man, I edit these episodes. This is gonna suck.
So many overlays, so many cards, so many arrows.
I'm gonna have to make I use Canva. That's how we make our posters for our Blue Sky posts when we're like, hey, here we're going live, and here's the name of the episode. I'm gonna make 9 or 10 Canvas just for dork shit. That's what it's come down to.
I warned y'all. I'm a yapper.
No, you're fine.
No,
but
also,
yapper. I hope you enjoyed your only episode.
Oh no!
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Emmara, what is your number 5?
So my number 5 is the Super Adaptoid. It is 2 colorless mana. It is a legendary artifact creature, robot, and villain, and the Super Adaptoid's power is equal to the number of legendary creatures you control. Whenever Super Adaptoid enters or attacks, choose another target creature. If that creature has haste, Super Adaptoid doesn't have haste, then put a haste counter on Super Adaptoid. Do the same for flying, first strike, double strike, death touch, indestructible, lifelink, menace, reach, trample, and vigilance.
A lot.
The Super Adaptoid was wonderful during Limited. And I also didn't notice that the Super Adaptoid can take the powers of anybody when it enters and attacks. It doesn't care if it's one of your creatures. If your opponents have double strike, you can go steal double strike from over there. If you want to steal reach, you can steal the reach.
I did not say the fact that it says another target creature. It doesn't say your opponent.
Gross.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah, it's super fun. Like in limited, it was super fun. I'm
Oh my
super
god.
excited to try it in Commander because so
Oh my
often
gosh, yeah.
we have so many legendary creatures. I love that the card tells a story. The super adaptoid, the more legendary creatures or heroes that are fighting it, the more powerful it gets. So like. It makes
Nice.
sense, and that the fact that it can see your powers and be like, oh yeah, I got that too. And another cool thing you can do is use like sorceries and instants that maybe make your creature indestructible for the turn, and then gain a
Yep.
counter, indestructible counter that never goes away. Uh, I was I'm a big fan of it. Not only that, it goes with another card that I've chosen that I will talk about later that lets me have as many legendary, make all my creatures into legendaries. So, yeah,
Avengers Assemble. No, damn.
and the artwork
That's
is pretty
wild.
sweet too.
Oh yeah. I like how Cap versus every villain is him just going, I can
Block,
hold you off for way
block,
longer than you
block.
should. Yeah. I can
I
hold you
feel
off
like
for way longer than I should be able to.
feel like I'm fighting my niece in Mortal Kombat. This is block, block. Just like I'm never ever gonna win. This is
Geek.
horrible.
What is your number 5?
See, Dork got me to change my list because it's another colorless. It's the Vision. For
No.
generic for a robot hero. 2/5 flying vigilant. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, choose one that has not been chosen this turn. He either gets double strike till end of turn, indestructible until end of turn, or draw a card.
I just
That's pretty
realized he's a
flexible too.
2/5.
Yes. 2/5 flying vigilance for 4. Yep. And I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. I like that. That's pretty flexible. I like artifacts. I like non-creature spells, so pretty decent thing.
I mean, the the off chance of just drawing a card every single turn by like playing a ponder, for example.
I might even put him in my new visit deck.
In limited, one of the things I kept on running in is like I was playing against, and like it would be like every combat cycle again, vigilance, attacks, and blocks. You could have like a removal spell that deals like 2 damage to a creature, then give Vision like double strike, give him indestructible, like whatever you want. Draw a card off it, just kill the. It's so stupid. Damn you, Paul
really
Bettany. Damn you. Bad card.
Emmara, any thoughts on the Vision?
Call the Lance. Uh, nope.
Okay. It's like, call the ambulance, but not for me. My number 5, as I've mentioned, is a teamwork card. It's Team Tactics. It's 1 in a red for an instant with Teamwork 1. And it says target creature gains double strike until end of turn. If this spell was cast using Teamwork, that creature also gains trample until end of turn. I think that this is a lot of fun and is very, very cool and like not like different necessarily. What I would love to do is you swing with a creature that has vigilance. Swing with the creature that has vigilance, and if they block it, then you go. If they don't block it, cool. 2 mana, you have double strike. Dome them twice. How dare they not block you? But then if they block you, you just go, cool, I tap the creature that has vigilance. It now gains double strike and trample. How dare you block me? Why would you do that?
I love that it is the artwork with Hawkeye shooting Ant-Man. But not only that, the card makes like Hawkeye is shooting Ant-Man in an arrow at you, and then you do something, teamwork kicks in, and then Ant-Man giant mans you and tramples you.
The flavor text. Most of my trick arrows don't talk this much.
Yeah, it's wonderful. It's perfect.
And we are moving right along. Dork, what is your number 4?
It should have been a Fantastic Four, but I would be amiss if I did not bring up the King of Wakanda himself. That's right, we're going to be talking about Black Panther before we talk about his front or back face, we're gonna be talking about his front face, King T'Challa, who I unironically think we will be seeing play of in CDH. So if you're not familiar, for a generic a blue and a white, you get a human noble hero with flash. He's a 3/2, and whenever a player draws their second card each turn, you draw a card. So right off the bat, with something like a fairy mastermind in play, or someone just happens to cast, a brainstorm or a ponder or a preordain or Rhystic Study, Mystic Remora, right?
Mm,
Play King
mhm.
T'Challa. Those are your cards now. You just get free cards. Getting additional value off of the cards that you're already super sick, off of the many things I just listed. Just getting a free card off that's just cool. 1 mana, draw 3, put 1 back seems pretty all right. I'm a big fan of the front of T'Challa, and then I'll even talk about the back for a second. At any point, you can pay 4 generic, or sorry, as a sorcerer, you can pay 4 generic, blue and a white to either transform him or cast him as the other side, which is of course Black Panther Hope Enduring, which is a 3/3 with flash and double strike, and you prevent all damage that would be dealt to Black Panther. In addition to that, when he deals combat damage player, you draw a card. So if you really need to start like honing in, you need to bring in the beat down, and you have like a good handful of like protection and removal where you don't have to worry about being the oncoming threats. You can now become the threat, right, and still get quite a bit of card draw, still get quite a bit of value, and also very difficult to deal with. I know a lot of people when they see 3 toughness, they're like, well, that dies to bolt. This guy doesn't. This guy actually does not die to bolt. Having double strike's insane. Basically wins any and every combat he's in. So having the perfect colors to protect him as well. Definitely going to be seeing being Black Panther as a character already was going to see a lot of play from this set. But being as good as he is, yeah, no, absolutely. I could see him pushing upwards of like CDH play in the 99 of certain decks. I even saw some folks brewing him as the commander and doing very well as well. So the versatility is there, the value is there, the flavor is there. Just great card all around.
Oh yeah, I don't disagree at all. Uh, yeah, you said everything I was thinking. So we're gonna move right along.
I can't play him in my Selesnya Black Panther deck. It kind of makes me angry.
It's why he should have been banned.
Anyway, so my number 4 is Jenny from the Hulk, or Jennifer Walters, and also She-Hulk, the sensational She-Hulk. I'm very excited about it. She-Hulk is one of my favorite characters. It's a stacks piece, which makes me happy. I'm a horrible person. I can't say anything else. She costs 1 white, 1 colorless, and she's a human advisor hero, 2/3, and your opponent can't cast spells during your turn. But she can also transform into the sensational She-Hulk, which for I do believe 2 white, 1 green, and 3 colorless. She transforms into the sensational. Oh my god, sensational She-Hulk. She's a gamma hero. She is a 6/6. She has reach. She has trample. My opponent still can't play spells during my turn. And whenever a creature you control is dealt damage, you may have sensational She-Hulk deal that much damage to any target and do this only once each turn. That silly ability, I'm just like, I want to make some kind of weird deck that lets me hurt all my creatures, which, I mean, some kind of weird Selesnya hate bears deck, but I just hate my creatures. I'm also going to be playing it in Jetmir, which as an extra stacks piece to keep my opponents from casting spells during my turn. Definitely helps my Jetmir deck, because, yeah, that's usually a problem when people suddenly, I don't want to be settled the wreckage or be aetherized. So yeah, having a little bit of control over my board state makes me happy. And also, I have a thing for green ladies. I don't know. Weird.
Dork, did you want to say something? You were saluting,
Oh no,
not raising your hand.
I was saluting the green ladies. Yeah, no,
Green
yeah.
ladies, you can't go wrong.
Yeah.
I don't know. I also like that like the card is telling a story. Like she's defending you, and like your opponent and it's not going to interrupt her while she is defending you.
It's not a great interaction, but one of the things that jumps out at me immediately is Golden Guardian. It's a 4-mana 4/4 artifact creature with defender that you pay 2 and it fights a creature you control. So I love the idea that you have it fight the Sensational She-Hulk so that it dies and comes back as the Gold Forge Garrison. And then Sensational She-Hulk goes, "Hey, my friend hit me in the face. Fuck that guy."
What's really scary too is like suddenly you're attacking your opponents, and if your opponents are blocking, suddenly she's just throwing damage, which is not great.
I play Repercussion, so I love this thing.
Yeah, it's all sorts of fun, and the artwork is awesome. I love it. It makes me happy. Gotta have more muscle mommies.
Hard agree. Geek, number 4.
It's a red.
No way.
It's Hex Magic. It's 2 and a red for Sorcery Arcane. Exile all the cards from your hand, then draw that many cards. Until the end of your next turn, you may play the cards exile this way. I like card draw and I like exile effects in red. Impulse draw is nice. Plus, it's Scarlet Witch, and she's really cool. So
This
I like
is
the mechanics of this card.
this is pretty
It's
strong, actually.
powerful. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
disgusting.
It's per strong card. I like it a lot.
Until the end of your next turn means go is just the I want to put this hand on layaway, and I would like to purchase a
Yeah.
new hand, please.
Yep. I dig it.
And if you've drawn a lot of cards, like suddenly, yeah, it's
Mhm.
not. It's
I've
disgusting.
already slotted it in my Bree deck.
I will
Yeah,
say the
even
only
in limited, it was doing me good work.
I only have one argument towards this card, and it's the fact that unlike other wheel-like effects like this is doing, this actually does nothing on its own. If you have no cards in hand and you top deck, you're like, I'm full of wheels, and top deck this, you've drawn a dead card.
That is one small downside, but that's
Which is
fine.
why it's uncommon. This
might be
isn't
the
a
best
rare, this is an
arcane card.
uncommon. Hey,
Not
you're
very
probably
many good
right, but
arcane
bite me.
cards
I've
out
played
there.
so many Kamigawa commanders, it's a sin. And like old Kamigawa commanders. Actually, I would argue Gaze of Adamaro is probably the best one, which is it domes a person for the number of cards in their hand.
Oh yeah.
Don't play that against my Niv deck.
Oh, you would think it's not in my Adamaro First to Desire deck.
I know it is.
If my guy's gonna
Yeah,
stare
great
at you.
card.
Yeah, a very fun card. I actually love this as you know what? Let's go gambling.
I am a red player. There we
Exactly.
go.
Sometimes you just got to do that.
I am a stacks player in the opposite version of Amara, where I don't want to ever tell you no, but I want to tell you, hold on a second. And that's why my number 4 is Captain Marvel Spaceborne. 4 and a white for a 4/4 legendary creature, Kree soldier hero, with flying and vigilance and cosmic awareness. As long as an opponent casts a spell this turn, you may cast spells as though they had flash. That is a hilarious line of text that I've needed for a very long time. Because
Very, very wide effect.
I don't want to tell you no. I just also want to say yes.
I don't like it. I don't like it when other people can just cast spells whatever they want.
Hilariously
It
enough,
makes me
though,
feel unsafe.
Hilariously enough, though, your card shuts down mine. Like, you'd be like, I cast a spell. I could cast spells as though they had flash.
Exactly.
Sensational
Don't argue
She-Hulk
with
says
She-Hulk.
no.
She says, "You
Damn
settle
it.
down there, boy."
But I'm Captain Marvel. Punch.
She
I'm
has
She-Hulk.
reach too, so
Woof,
yeah.
Just throws them. I love that she has reach too, because she jumps around.
Yeah.
She's so good.
But very fun card. I think that this is actually like a great white card in the sense of like if you've ever sat there and been like, I'm so jealous of like the blue and the red players doing things at instant speed. Captain Marvel says, guess what? You're there too, buddy.
Join in. Get over here.
Did you want to board wipe at instant speed and don't have one? Now you do.
Instant speed.
But it does it in the whitest way possible.
Yeah.
You did the thing. I'm gonna do the thing.
Exactly.
Look at me! Look at I'm flying too.
Dork. Number 3.
Number 3 on my list. We don't have to get too much into funny enough because I also She-Hulk on there as well. I really have always enjoyed like the Grand Abolisher and Voice of Victory effects on there. And putting them on the She-Hulk, it's a no-brainer. Even to what Geek was saying about running repercussion, I remember a good time of like Boros Reckoner lines and such, and that's what it brings me back to. I'm hoping we get to see more antics with She-Hulk, maybe in standard. It's kind of hard to gauge though, just because Voice of Victory is standard right now as well at the same time. So those little goobers that comes along with, as I like to call them, very vindictive of the card. But no, great card. Love her a lot. Think it's a well designed card, and would hope to pull her in the near future.
Emmara, number 3.
My number 3 is Monica Rambeau, one of the Captain Marvels. Her up here. Just had her up, and then I started looking at a different card. So Monaco Rambeau, 1 white, 2 colorless, human hero, flying, prowess, and transforms as well for 2 white, 1 red, and 2 colorless. She is a 3/3. A 3/3 for 3 mana that flies and has prowess is already pretty good. It's not terrible. I love prowess. It's one of my favorite mechanics in the game, and it's between that and connive. Like, I love abusing prowess. For both my Narset deck, anytime there's new prowess cards, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, I can give prowess. Awesome. So when Monica's cost is paid, she will transform into Photon, the living light. She has flying, hexproof, and prowess still, but she becomes a 4/4, and she gains the ability of whenever you cast a non-creature spell, put a +1/+1 counter on each other creature you control. Suddenly, your prowess is going on to all your creatures, not going away, and you're still getting trigger off of your own prowess on her. She gains hexproof, which suddenly, normally when you transform something, you're paying all that mana for a creature twice, which sometimes is not great when suddenly somebody removes your creature. So having hexproof is at least a little bit of added protection from paying that transform cost. But I'm very excited to test her out and just fiddle around. I need more flying in my prowess deck, so yeah, I'm excited.
She could be pretty.
She looks scary.
Yeah, looks is an understatement. Geek, number 3.
It's Avengers Disassembled.
Oh, another
1
red
red,
card.
red.
Shocking.
It's another red one. Yeah, 1 red for sorcery. Choose one or both. Avengers Disassembles deals 3 damage to each creature, or destroy target land. Its controller may search their library for a basic land card, put it in the battlefield, tap, then shuffle. It's modal. It doesn't have to be modal, which is great. And then I like targeted land destruction for those cradles that everybody seems to like to play.
One of the
Or
worst
Playful
Avengers
Chasms, or
storylines.
Urborgs, Cabal Coffers.
What did you say, Emmara?
It's one of the worst Avengers storylines.
I didn't know
It
that.
messed up so much stuff. God, I hated it. It was Jeff Johns who did Green Lantern, but
I actually, to piggyback off of Geek for something, I love these kinds of cards when I have stuff like Darksteel Citadel. So I just rant myself. I blow up the board and then I go get a land in mono red.
Holy crap! I just looked at the comic book version of this card, and it's got She-Hulk ripping Vision in half.
yeah, it was a Hawkeye die. Spoilers.
Spoiler warning for this whole.
Everybody comes back eventually. It's been like 30
it's
years, so get with it.
Comics never let anybody die permanently except Uncle Ben.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Even though Aunt May should have stayed dead.
That brings it to me, and my number 3 is something that I love to do, which is just politics through and through. Mine's is the Century Golden Guardian. 3 and a white for a 5/5 legendary creature human hero with flying, vigilance, and indestructible. When the Century enters, target opponent creates the Void, a legendary 5/5 black horror villain creature token with flying, indestructible, and the Void attacks each combat if able. I love dumb shit like this. Cause is it a good card? No. But I love it. Because I love the idea of going, hey, here I get the Century. I get this 5/5 flying vigilance indestructible thing. I want you to go beat the shit out of them, because I can't do it. But you can.
They might
I
go
believe
after
in you.
with it.
Sometimes
There's
you
not
need
nobody.
the
They
other
can come
player.
after you. You know what's really funny? If you have a Sentry deck and you have Lucy McLean in your deck, you get a Void
You can
too.
make another void.
And then you give Sentry Myriad.
Oh my god, that's so much fun. Oh
And
god,
then-
that's so going in my Lucy
And you
deck.
run Mirror Box, and you
And
run
then
all the
Void Token.
non-legendary.
The Void Token artwork is pretty good.
The Void
Oh,
token
yeah.
artwork is great.
God damn
Steph
it.
pointed out that on every single one of their scroll tokens, there's just some Eldritch on the back. So like on the back of a scroll was like was the Void, and then on the back of it was Galactus. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh my god, I could give Galactus tokens to other people.
Yeah, it's just yeah, this is a silly thing. I love this idea. I play a Brain of the Demagogue deck, which is politics. I love the idea of playing the Sentry and giving the Void to somebody else and going, you can draw cards for it. Why wouldn't you just go draw cards and give me counters? Don't worry about the fact that I'll have a 7/7 Sentry. Don't worry about it. But that's me. And now we're
Don't
moving
worry
into
about it.
our favorite thing, which is our favorite legend, Dork. Who's your favorite legendary creature? Who you looking forward to building, maybe?
I've said it once, and I will say it again. I am gay for Mole Man. This little idiot. He's not even my favorite my favorite Fantastic Four villain. That's obviously, Doctor Doom, because anything else and you're wrong. Objectively, of course. Mole Man, for one, I love the Simpsons meme of like, no, you're gay for Mole Man. No, you're gay for Mole Man. No one's gay for Mole Man, but I am. Mole Man would have hit in of himself if he was just literally a 3-mana 1/1 with no text. I probably would have done something stupid. But no, he has words, such as one of the most liberal words that they've used in the past few years. I remember a time that this was printed on like 1/1 card, being Crucible of Worlds, and now they slap this on anything: snakes, lizards, or bugs, I should say. All of them. You may play lands from your graveyard. But wait, there's more, because this guy shouldn't be called Mole Man. He should be called Gru from Despicable Me, because whenever a land you control enters, you create a 1/1 green minion creature token named Moloid. With when this creature attacks, you may mill a card. So you basically play a land, you get a mole, or you get a minion, and then the minion attacks and it puts a land into your graveyard, and then you can play those lands from your graveyard. Am I going to build him? Probably not. But with that being said, he's going in the 99 of so many of my decks. I'm going to try him out in the Gendertaker, aka Corum the Undertaker. I'm going to put him into the Boulder because it's just mono green stupid stompy stuff, and like they're lovers. Fight me on that. They're lovers. And then I'm also going to be putting it into a bunch of other brews that I have in store. I might even try it in Standard. There's a really good solid Standard land deck right now in the meta that's been doing extremely well. I think actually won at MagicCon Vegas most recently. And so I'm going to tinker with that a little bit. Run a Mole Man and run a what's the other one? The chopper, the head shredder from Duskmorn, because then you could like play that with like an Ice Till Explorer, and you can play Mole Man, and then you could like mill cards, get a land, trigger the Mole Man, get a Moloid, trigger the Ice Till Explorer, mill a card, mill a land, put those in a play, just all that good mono green fair synergy that we all know and love. In short, who's gay for Mole Man? You're gay for Mole Man. Brew this card. It's so good. I love him. He's my little guy.
My
That's it.
Sidisi deck is salivating at this man.
Mole Man slaps. He gets it. I'm telling you. He's the most interesting mole man in the world. Come on. I drink a Dos Equis with him.
I have two. You know what? And absolutely, if you have an Anzrag, the Mole God deck, you have to put him in here. I think you are by law forced to put the Mole Man into the Mole God deck.
I want a reskin of him as what, Monty Mole from Mario Brothers. Like, I'm telling you, guys, I unironically want the Gru reason. I just saw I think it was Milk Bean did art recently. I forgot what card she did, but she made Gru from Despicable Me. It's him. It's him. This is the guy. He's even a villain. Come on, do it. He plays lands from the graveyard, like how he steals the moon. Come on, do it. Do it. That's it. That's my guy.
Emmara, what is your favorite legend?
My favorite legend, I am going super simple. We already know I like prowess. So Thor Odinson, one white, one red, 3 colorless, god, warrior, hero, flying, vigilance, prowess, 4/4. What else do I need? I need Narset out so I can have prowess. You don't get to put multiple keywords on cards very often, so like as one of the only abilities that you can actually do that, it just makes me happy. Also, I am a big fan. Every once in a while, I'm a simple girl and I just need a big Norse god with a big old hammer. That's all I got.
Yeah.
I would also not mind a version of him from God of War Ragnarok.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
He's going in my Kratos and Atreus deck.
As you should.
Yeah, I mean, I need more flying in that deck anyway, so I'm very excited when we do get our space or our supernatural probably set. It'll either be space and Thor, or it'll be supernatural and Thor. I'm assuming is one of the sets. And I'm gonna get so many gods. I'm gonna be so happy. I'll be even happier if we go back to all time before that.
Alrighty. My favorite legend, I talked about him in the beginning. Oh, I'm sorry, Geeks. Oh, I'm so sorry. My
Geek's
apologies.
here too.
Geek.
You have one job, sir.
Actually, I have like 7 in this goddamn company, and we're not even a company, and I don't even get paid for it.
Mine is also a Lorehold card. It's Daredevil Man Without Fear. 2 red and white for a 3/4 human hero. Specifically, there's like a bunch of different treatments for this one, but it's specifically the borderless one from the comic book. Not the comic panel, but whatever. Anyway, he has Vigilance and Haste, and he has Radar Sense. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. I love that line of text. And then whenever you attack, you may exile the top card of your library. If that card is a hero card, Daredevil gets +2/+1 until end of turn. You may play that card this turn. I've said it many, many times. I like exile impulse effects. And it doesn't even have to be a hero card. It doesn't matter. I just get to play the card anyway. So, mechanically, I love the card. And Daredevil's a really cool hero.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite heroes. Daredevil Season 2 was good times.
Beats the crap out of people.
Yeah,
Awesome.
Him and Moon Knight are big fans of it. Just don't like it. You're gonna do something bad, yeah, you're gonna get the shit kicked out of you, and you're never gonna do it again.
I think his card is actually the Murdoch Justice, or sorry, Street Justice. I think is a great card as well.
Yeah.
Now with that being said,
now it's you.
Now it's me. I talked about him at the beginning of the episode, so of course my favorite legend is Captain America. But the question is, out of his I think 5 cards that he got,
15,000?
Yeah, which one is it? I went
All of them.
with Captain America Living Legend. 1 white and a blue for a 3/4 legendary creature, human soldier hero with vigilance. And whenever a creature you control becomes tapped during your turn, if it's the first time that creature has become tapped this turn, untap it.
I don't like that line of text.
I love that line of text.
Only broken things happen with that line of text.
Never. Never
Like
happened.
that elf from Jumpstart.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Uh, and honestly, the reason, so minus the two Jeskai ones that we've gotten, and really upset that they reordered the Jeskai casting cost to read as red, white, blue because American flag. Uh, that's that, like, on his card, that is upsetting to me. But ultimately, I think if there is a Captain America, I believe they got correct. It was this one. The idea of like, nope, soldier, you thought you were done, but get back up. We can do this all day.
Most of the
It's
other caps, I think, are a lot more flavorful than that first one.
mm-hmm. The mono white one's pretty good too. I like the idea of just as
Well,
long as
all
he's got a
those.
shield counter, oh, your heroes have hexproof. Um, but I like this one the best. I love tapping and untapping shenanigans. I had a white blue activated abilities deck for a little while with Belisarius Call. Would love to revisit that, but do something a bit different this time with this cat. And I gotta say, the other thing that flicked me is definitely the flavor text, which is they say the world moved on without me, but as long as injustice exists, I'm still needed here. Because again, going off of the he stands up for those who cannot stand up for themselves. So yeah,
Yep.
we are in to the final stretch of things. Dork, what is your number 2?
It's a pretty epic one for you, buddy. It is in fact Epic Fight. I like the inset printing where it's the iconic cover of Wolverine facing off against the Hulk. I for one, I knew I was gonna get like an absurd amount of Wolverine support. I have a Wolverine Commander deck uh in this set, and yeah, no, it does everything I would want to have in a Wolverine deck. Epic Fight for 2 generic and a green. You get a sorcery. It's modal. got a trend you're going. Choose one or both. Double target creature's power and toughness still on the turn, and target creature you control fights target creature an opponent controls. So even if you just play out your Wolverine, right? You play him, right? He's a 2/2 that doubles all damage that he deals, and then you cast Epic Fight on him. You know, a 4/4 that's dealing 8 damage to any creature he fights, and also could just crack in for 8 just as a base. I love it. It also has Wolverine in the art for that one, so of course I'd have to include it. Uh, I also love the flavor text. You think being big is gonna help you, bub? All that does is make you easy to hit, which is even more funny because a lot of people forget the fact Wolverine's really short. like
5'3".
he is 5'3".
In the comics, he's canonically 5'3".
He's very dense because of all the adamantium too. So adamantium. So love the card, love the design, love the art, and I love the fact that I can actually run it in a Wolverine deck. If you don't want to run it in a Wolverine deck, first of all, what's wrong with you? Second of all, they do have the art where it's like all of them facing off against what is that is that the super adaptoid in the art? It looks like or he's facing off against them, and then the big showcase art. It's like him, Viv, like Vision's daughter,
I
Nova
like
is
that.
in there. Yeah,
Ms.
who else?
Marvel's in there too.
Ms. Marvel, Miles, Ironheart. It's like all the new, right?
Yeah.
So
I
it's
like
good
it.
stuff.
Champions.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah.
I like Ms. Marvel a lot.
I love Miss Marvel. I wish her card was. I mean, yeah, she's not terrible, but I don't want to build mono blue Miss Marvel.
Emmara, what is your number 2?
Colorless. He is a human scientist villain, a 3/3. When Doctor Doom enters, create 2 3/3 colorless robot villain artifact creature tokens named Doombot. As long as you control an artifact creature or a plan, Doctor Doom has indestructible. At the beginning of your end step, you draw a card and lose 1 life. So Doctor Doom does many things. I'm actually very excited to put him in my Mr. House deck because I can make more robots. So, but the stupid reason, I love that he makes. I wish that the Doombots were a sort of ward of some sort, where I mean, I guess as long as he does have an artifact creature, so he doesn't have indestructible. But I mean, you can still get rid of him anyway. Sorry, I'm thinking too much. Doctor Doom. The only other thing is, I wish you could have more plans. Like, I guess as long as you have his one plan out. And I guess after the plan is gone, yeah, usually everything falls apart, so the indestructible falls off. Okay. I'm just sitting here reading the card, thinking about all the reasons why these things are happening. I like my mono black cards that do things like let me draw cards. I mean, I will pay life for things all day long. For 6 mana, you're getting 9 power on the board. Yeah, it's Doctor Doom. He does
I
his
have
Dr. Doomy thing.
never seen a man who loves Necrons more in my life.
Yeah, he absolutely loves Necrons. He's like, please. I mean, he slots in there very, very
Yeah,
well.
he could just easily lead the Necron deck, and it's fine.
Yeah, he's like, wait a second, I'm just indestructible as long as I have a creature out to any of these creatures, and they're all mono black, and they all synergize really, really well with me. Oh, cool. I can
Geek?
see him leading. Yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, no, definitely. Geek, what is your number 2?
My number 2 is I just changed it in my brain. It is Death to Our Enemies. 2 in a red for a enchantment plan. Whenever you cast a non-creature spell, create a tap treasure token and put plan counter on this enchantment. And whenever the 4th plan counter is put on this enchantment, sacrifice it. When you do it, deals 7 damage divided as you choose among 1 or more targets. 1 or 2 targets. It does treasures. I love treasures. And it does non-combat damage, which I really love. So,
If there was one thing I could change about plans, it would be remove all the counters off of them, and you have to start the plan over instead of sacrificing it.
Sacrificing it makes it
Makes it
as
weird. Now,
good.
I believe they're
Yeah.
all uncommon, so like I think that
except
that
for Reign Supreme.
his could be oppressive because you could if you just hit the right 2 cards, you just win.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fun. I think that's it's a fun card.
It was going to be Mjolnir, but I like this one better.
Fair enough.
You are unworthy.
I know. Alrighty. My number 2 is Multiversal Incursion. 5 blue for a sorcery and it says for each non-token creature you control, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it isn't legendary. I love big stupid spells, and I love cloning and copying things. Everything that I love all in one card.
It's so going in Wilson. That's like the main goal of my Wilson deck is to make as many Wilsons as I can. So I'm just like, yes, I'm gonna turn all my bears into Wilsons and it shall be magnificent.
Geek, you wanted to say something about it?
Everything
Also that
making
art-
copies of things, but not legendary.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
many effects of that.
Makes me so
It's a
happy.
cool card though. It reminds me of like Clone Legion.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I
also love the artwork with all the different versions.
Oh, yeah.
From all the different multiverses, because that's one of my favorite things about comic books is like seeing those characters in a different world and see what could have possibly happened. Like the what if comic books are one of my favorite things. So
Like
yeah,
Captain
getting to-
Carter,
yeah, Captain Carter. Oh, Peggy Carter.
Iron Steve.
There's so many cool worlds.
Oh, yeah.
Like X-Men was like one
Oh,
of
yeah.
my favorite comic books. I can't. I wish we were gonna get a Age of Apocalypse set.
We might have some references to the inevitable X-Men set we're going to get.
Yeah, Inevitable X-Men, Inevitable like
We'll get a
Mystic set.
saga.
But yeah, so that's my number 2, which means that's it, folks. We're here. We are all the way up to our number 1 favorite card that we are excited to try to play from this set. Dork, what is your number 1?
Number 1 is the same thing I'm going to have when we're done shooting today. That is a Heroic Feast. It's an enchantment for 2 generic when this enchantment enters, like most cards printed this year, you make a food token. Because why not? And then whenever you gain life, choose up to that many target creatures you control. Put a 1/1 counter on each of them. So, for instance, if you crack that food token I just mentioned, you get to put a one. You get to put +1/+1 counter on up to 3 target creatures. I'm going to be running it in my Sophia Dog Detective list, aka Scooby Doo and Velma. I'm going to be running it in my Waffle Restaurant deck because everything in that deck to run Waffle Restaurant as a commander has to create a food token, which this does, and also gives you a great late game payoff when you're gaining a bunch of life. That being making your team swole. It's got just like some of my favorite characters in the art. It's literally Wolverine and the Thing eating sandwiches slash like shawarma with Spider-Man hanging upside down. Miles is there. Miss Marvel's there. Squirrel Girl's there. Her little twinkly toed squirrel critter goober guy is on the table eating as well. And you got like kids in the background, like just taking photos. That's what I mean. Is like, although haha, very funny. It's a reference to this, that, and the other. It makes the set feel lived in, which I think is very important. The fact that there's so much going on with these characters all interacting with each other at like just such a simple time. And also, once again, my boy is the centerpiece in the flavor text. The Thing belched. I told you guys, Yancey Street has the best sandwiches. It's so good. It is just so good and fundamentally what I want out of this set and what I want them to continue to do with this set. I want cards like this to really flesh out what makes the Marvel universe a universe, right? It's not just like one character, it's a plethora of different characters from different walks of life, all living, it's not just, punching the bad guys and saving the day. It can just be, I'm gonna go get a sandwich at a place I used to go to when I wasn't a giant rock fan. So that's my number one favorite card of the set. It is the best card in the set. There is no discussion, no argument. That's all I'll say.
On that note, Emmara, what's your number one card?
Well, you know what the best card. So my favorite card is Kang, Temporal Tyrant. 1 black, 1 blue, 2 colorless, 3/4. Human villain. Whenever Kang attacks, he connives. Nice, simple. He's a villain. He's conniving. He's planning. He's scheming. And then whenever you draw your second card each turn, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. So you connive, you draw that card, and he's basically triggering himself, which is pretty cool. And his plan is going off. He's gaining a little bit, you are losing a little bit, and it hits all your opponents, which is nice. So you're conniving and draining 3 life off the board each time. Kang is one of my favorite characters. I am excited that I can build a Kang deck and have multiple different kinds of Kangs from different timelines. I One of my favorite storylines is from Uncanny Avengers, and he raises Archangel's children and to be the new heralds of apocalypse.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. It's basically a sequel to Uncanny X-Force, which is also one of my favorite. It has the Dark Angel saga, which is fantastic. I could go and talk about comic books for too long, so I will try not to. Kang is awesome. I'm bummed that we're probably not getting more Kang for a while in the Marvel universe, but yeah, he's just as inevitable as Thanos, basically.
I don't disagree at all. Geek, what is your number one?
Red card.
Shocking.
Thor. Thor, God of Thunder. 3 red for God Warrior Hero. 5/5 with flying. When he enters, exile target Mjolnir, instant or sorcery card from your graveyard until the end of your next turn. You may play that card. Oh, I'm sorry, I said target equipment. You know what you're gonna get anyway. Come on now. Which is interesting. I've never seen anything that gets an equipment, instant or sorcery from your graveyard like that, but it works well with the discard effect of Mjolnir. And then, my favorite part of it, whenever you cast a non-creature spell, Thor deals damage equal to that spell's mana value to any target.
That's so
I love non-combat spell combat damage, and I like casting non-creature spells.
That's so
This goes in my
strong.
Niv Mizzet deck.
That's what I hear about you.
Goes in my Niv Mizzet deck. Yeah.
Oh god, that's so like there's I think it's called like Explosive Singularity from Kamigawa, the 10 mana, 10 damage spell. And all I can think of is, cool, if Thor's on the battlefield, this is 10 mana, 20 damage.
And if I'm playing Niv with it, then that's 20 cards.
That's the game, folks.
Light day for that deck, but yeah. Fun times.
That's really silly.
And Thor's a cool character, I guess. I don't know much about him other than the MCU.
Thor is actually the cinematic cinematic version of Thor is way more tame than actual comic Thor. Comic Thor is nuts. He fought demons in Valhalla for 1,000 days straight with no rest. Like,
it's much more serious.
Yeah, it's so crazy. And
it's some of the best storylines too.
And there's even the arguments that like he also fought those demons alongside Superman and Wonder Woman. Comics are weird.
Comic books are wonderful.
It doesn't make them not weird. Let's be real.
They are weird. They're even better when they are super weird.
That's truth. All right, folks. My number one and the last card we'll talk about tonight is Worlds Within Worlds. It's 5 green and a blue for a sorcery. It says exile all creatures. Each player may put any number of creature cards from their hand onto the battlefield. Then put all cards exiled this way into their owner's hands. Exile Worlds Within Worlds. I love Living Death. I love this just as much. Is it 2 more mana? Yes. Is it in colors I wish it wasn't? Also, yes. However,
it's not a white card. I'm surprised.
It's just such a fun effect. I love the idea of telling, like, I don't play a ton of token decks, so I love the idea of just going, hey, token player, thank you for overcommitting. Eat shit.
Rakdos Charm. Sorry.
But yeah, Rakdos Charm.
I love Rakdos Charm.
I like making people punished for overindulging.
Yeah. This is the card of like I was mana screwed. You let me cast this for free. I'm making everyone suffer because of it. I would say that like, oh, in a green blue deck, you could cheat in things like Galta or Galta, but like Galta costs like 2 mana with it anyway. But so like, what are you actually cheating in? But like, I think this could be a ton of fun. I honestly, this kind of maybe ends up in my Sidisi deck, just because you're sitting there thinking to yourself, well, why would you not play Living Death? Wrong. I play both. Because sometimes I put my graveyard in my hand, and now I just go, cool, I put it back in my hand. Now I put it back on the battlefield. You thought it was done. Nay, nay. But yes, that is my favorite card of the set. Is there any last card anybody would like to mention before we do our send-offs? Alrighty. Folks, thank you so much for joining us today. I was joined by some very, very super and heroic people that are awesome. Dork, go ahead and give yourself a shout out as we're wrapping up.
Let's start it off the same way that we did before. It's your boy, the High Flyer, the Wheeler and Dealer. And in case you forgot, let this podcast be a reminder, the best in the world. It's your friendly neighborhood dork, aka your favorite Magic creator's favorite Magic creator. Maybe a few of them, their least favorite content creator if I've gotten under their skin too much. Dork4Short. It's been an absolute pleasure being with so many wonderful people talking about this set. It has definitely made me more fond of the set, being able to share different experiences and different perspectives about it. With all that being said, it's pretty easy to find me on all platforms, Dork4Short, with a plethora of different deck lists where I yap about different cards. I host the Ultimate MTG parties. I also host all the LobbyCon parties. I get the good people of the Magic community what they want when they want it. And next up on the agenda, we'll be hosting a Comic-Con party here in my stomping grounds in downtown San Diego, which is more like multi-fandom, all-encompassing for nerd culture to really get the most out of the Comic-Con experience for everyone. So stay tuned for that. Tickets are on sale for that, early bird and all that good stuff. Or who knows, maybe in the future it's already happened and it went extremely well or terribly wrong. Only you can tell me. So get to the comments. Thanks again for having me, and I'll see y'all in the next one. Hopefully. Take it easy.
Amara.
What's happening, everybody? I am Amara, Goddess of Blunder. I am a cosplayer, a puppeteer, and former ambassadors. I am going to be hanging out here soon at Commander Sealed in September in Rochester, New York. I will also be a feature creator in Atlanta at MagicCon here in November, I do believe. I'll have a new puppet, new cosplay. I make a lot of different Magic content. I play hundreds of games a year. Too many games, maybe, of Commander. If you ever want to talk about Magic, hear me complain about everything, find me on the internet under Goddess of Blunder. Thank you very much for having me. I was very excited about this set. I didn't get to talk about it very much. I love comic books. A wonderful little love letter to the world that I've grown up in. Like, I've collected comic books for 37 years, so getting to see them on Magic cards, and I don't have to make them myself like I did back when I was like a small child. It makes my life so much easier when somebody else does the work for me.
Geek, any shout outs you'd like to do?
Geek Beardly. You'll see me at Commander Sealed. It's probably the only event I'm doing this year, so hopefully see people there.
And I am Will, also known as Scruffy Nerford. You can catch me at Commander Sealed as well. I will also be most likely attending PAX Unplugged. So those are the two places you could really find me. If not, hit me up. I'm always down to play Magic or Warhammer or D&D. And I hope that you'll have tuned in to watch our episode. I'm dropping it now, so these three people will hear it, and hopefully the people who see this episode will hear it. We are hired to be a group of bodyguards as we are transporting some individuals across the wasted plains of Tulash, when for some reason the piles of metal around us from this recently extinct living fortress have started to come to life, and we're not sure why. Join us for the invasion of Tulash. I have been your host, Will. Thank you all so much for joining us. Did you power up? Did your plans go the way that you meant them to? Did you become your Gamma Goliath? Or did you go from hero to zero? Thanks for joining us for Dungeon Delving.